So, herzlich willkommen bei dem PUBG Nation Cup Final Stage Tag 3. Heute geht es weiter mit dem letzten Tag von den Matches 13 bis 18 werden heute die finale Runden gespielt und wir werden ziemlich gespannt sein, wer dieses Turnier mit nach Hause nimmt. Gerade macht es den Anschein, dass nämlich Vietnam mit 30 Punkten Vorsprung dieses Ding mit nach Hause nehmen wird. Es wird wahrscheinlich ziemlich schwer sein, für die anderen Teams das noch aufzuholen, aber wir bleiben ziemlich gespannt, wie es ausgehen wird. 77 Donuts Nakosa 77. Vielen Dank für deinen Follower. Ich hoffe, dir wird dieser Stream gefallen. Sorry für die Aussprache deines Namens. Es geht gleich los in die erste Runde.
An incredible survival stage finish in order to get to the finals. You know, they've had some success here or there, led by Gustav, of course, such a good IGL, Beamy as well in the wings, and then Korea, man, the hometown heroes, the favorites coming into this event, the team that every single other team had their eyes on.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, yesterday it just felt like Korea made some choices in the macro game that cost them in the long run, where they went for some fights that I kind of was a bit surprised by. It felt like they were trying to pick up the pace, be a little bit more aggressive.
Und jetzt fängt er auch gleich die erste Runde an. Miramar wird reingehalten.
The final 6 games. This is it, day 3 of the final stage here at TNC 2025.
Ich wünsche natürlich den Deutschen wieder alles Gute, dass ihre Strategie gut aufgehen wird. Direkt am Scouten, Low Early Game und dann High Mid und Endgame ein paar Punkte absahnen werden und vielleicht doch nochmal ein Game mit nach Hause nehmen. So wie gestern auch. Und let's go.
We've pretty much taken a world tour. The only place we haven't been is all the way up to the northwest, and I doubt we'll be up there now, but now the teams have seen most of the map. We'll see what they're going to do once this first circle pops.
Yeah, we've been really blessed on Miramar with a wide variety of circles, so that's really, really cool. Just looking to see if maybe anybody scrapes early. My eyes immediately always drift over to the Philippines. Them trying to, just whoever's near them, they just want to fight.
Wollten eigentlich dieses Jahr den dritten Pokal mit ausnehmen, aber das wird ziemlich schwierig sein, außer die holen jetzt natürlich 3 Games Chicken Dinner mit jeweils 15 Punkten Kills. Aber kann ich mir leider nicht vorstellen, dass das für die machbar sein wird. Da werden sich die ersten Autos gepackt. Denn Autos ist das Wichtigste in diesem Game. Und Deutschland am Ende rausgesprungen und hat sich mal wieder Parasol rausgeschnappt und hat eine ziemlich gute Zone, weil die könnten direkt nach Süden runter rotieren zu Brüssel auf die kleine Insel, so wie die es gestern auch schon mal gemacht haben.
Hit him in the head while he was falling, but that was a really great ending. And you know, those circles around Chumasera can be a little tricky because there's some of that flat area. There's like these weird valleys in between the mountains.
Yeah, these valleys are impossible to get past. But before we get to the valleys, we do have an interview that we'd like to get to real quick.
China in Pecado gelandet.
就之前 PNC 的成绩没有达到预期吧，希望这次可以让我们没有遗憾吧。就这一次呢，希望能够拿到更好的成绩。我希望我们这次能够打到最后，然后拿到一个好的结果吧。最后站在舞台上的一定是我们中国队。
Ooh, big words from Akeleft. He's just saying we're going to be the ones taking center stage.
Again, if there was a team on this field besides Vietnam, it would be them. So I don't think he's overconfident. There's a very real chance China can close that gap. But we'll have to see. I mean, again, Vietnam has to have a horrible day, a truly horrible day.
Yes, and usually when I think about PUBG events that are 3 days long, right, where you have like 18 games, I think you're allowed one bad day and you can still win.
You are.
I don't know if that's actually going to be the case.
With the consistency that China has found, especially yesterday, I would agree. I don't think they can just rest on the laurels. Not that a team like Vietnam would. Obviously, they've been very methodical about how they played. Straight away from what's got them all these points and what's got them here.
Fight hier von den Polen
und China is a threat
Argentinien.
no matter what, and especially how consistent they were yesterday. It's kind of scary because we did see Vietnam lose some players early, even though they were able to salvage points.
And think about just historically in PUBG how hard it is to run the table 3 days in a row. Right? It's Vietnam's top team day one. You know how many teams? Like, Twisted Minds has done it.
Kapitän hat aber auch ein Auge auf sein Mate. Und
internationally.
Can't remember.
I don't think so.
Doch nicht stark mit dem Auto.
Look, regionally, sure.
Maybe M19.
Hätte auch gefällig aussehen können.
Twisted Minds.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sein können.
I mean,
und da ist der erste noch kalt
so that's one kind of the only reason I'm worried about Vietnam. Not because of anything rational, just because of
just superstition. Yeah, essentially at this point, which is, you know, we'll see, but. Our determination is to learn, improve, and compete with confidence sportsmanship. Well, I'll tell you what, boys, you're already well past that. You are on your way to being a truly great team. As Cal, this whole raw dude, Algenbot, seeing him pop off this event has just been a treat.
And he's been really nice to talk to behind the scenes.
He's great.
Super great guy, super nice. And he's just got all this confidence today. He was just like, yeah, we're just going to keep playing our game. You know, we feel like we're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
There might be a few minor tweaks here and there, but I don't expect to see them be that different in their play style. I think they're still going to go for those wide splits. They still have the trust in their individual players, whether it be him, whether it be 10-Trip, CJ, just as good. So no doubt that they're showing us a style that has proven to be somewhat effective. They're in 10th. That's a really nice showing.
And they're building upon that success. I mean, 10th place is not a bad place to be in a stacked lobby like this. You can see China taking some shots over towards Australia. No, Tig's going to get stuck, kind of. That's not a great spot.
That's not the vehicle I'd want to be in either, other than it does have good torque, so it can get you going a little bit faster, but very exposed as those buggies to people shooting you as you drive by. Lil Ghost close, but not going to really seemingly press the issue there. It seems like right now with those other two players ahead for China, that they are just going to look for more of a grouped position to the west of Chumasero.
Yeah, and one thing I just noticed looking at this first circle is teams are rotating even earlier than they did yesterday. They are desperately trying to get into an early position where it's central and they can not have to worry about any of the nonsense we talked about China was so good at avoiding in the early game. But something to note about the circle, similar to the one that we saw Tanvu have his crazy clutch in that game where we saw Beamy come from the heavens, is again, these ravines you were talking about, or these valleys, if you get stuck on the wrong side of this when circle shifts, it's just as bad as being stuck on death road. It's a death sentence. Crossing the other side is nigh impossible.
Yeah, it's almost like a river, right? Like
yeah, it might as well be.
Exactly. It is so hard. So in some ways, you're kind of gambling. You're given what you're taking. You know, that's why your teams want to make these early rotations, because they're going to look at their heat maps and say, okay, statistically, here's where we see these circles end. We're going to try to guess that's going to be a better spot. As Xavier is going to get one, make it two. He's finally traded by Monty. Things not going so good here for Team Australia, squaring up with the team that's just behind them on the leaderboards, and didn't go well. And Tiggleton trying to find an angle.
Yeah, if they can, for either team, if they can clean this up, though, they're fighting on top of a res point. So, and we saw Korea use that to great effect the first day, really fighting on those res points. Mount Rush is going to get the flush onto Flood and Luke. Tig very low. He's going to have to back off, but the pressure's on. Leo's pushing forward, and Tig knows this.
Yeah, Monty trying to see if he can relieve a little bit of that pressure towards Leo. The grenade actually splashed a bit of damage, but Monty and Tig are going to combine to take Leo down. This is really nice work from above by Monty.
Oh, Monty is cooking right now. He's going to get more damage onto another member of Chinese Taipei. Zhao Wei is trying to get down. Do we see a spray, though, from Indonesia? They're going to get involved.
Indonesia kommt da ran.
That's unfortunate. Tig there.
Tiggleton's Waffe ist leer. Oh, what?
How does that happen? He gets it done somehow, some way. Going to be able to flush this point out at the very least around the corner. Xavier, though, quick to finish the job. And like you said, the revive station is there.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good fight to take. Unfortunately, with the help of Indonesia, It was a fight that Australia lost.
Australien mit einem Punkt aus dem Game
Getting
raus.
eliminated early in an event like this, you just got nothing to do but turn around.
Für sie
The monitors are black.
The monitors are straight black, so they
ziemlich
talk
schlecht
about it and
aus.
hopefully have a better game next time. But Chinese Taipei will get that res off, and they will be 4 strong yet again. And there's plenty of loot there for them to take, so they're going to be just fine.
Und ganz ehrlich, habe ich mir wirklich auch von Tickeln viel mehr erhofft.
To get the job done.
Ich habe es das öfters in den letzten Streams auch schon erwähnt, aber ich bin bitterlich enttäuscht. Ich habe sehr viele Videos von ihm schon gesehen und auch Streams. Hat auf jeden Fall mehr auf den Kasten drauf. Ich hoffe nicht, dass schon in die Jahre gekommen ist und sein Talent verflogen. Vielleicht muss auch noch mal ein bisschen die Aim-Labs reingehen. Man weiß es nicht.
Yeah, Korea they actually opted to do this yesterday, but instead of going onto drumstick, they actually just took the road, right? This time they're actually opting to go behind Germany. And I wonder if that's because they saw Germany there the other day?
That's my assumption, is they want to try to avoid any fighting early on those edges, and they're going to try to come in through Vaidamar, and then you're going to run into the Philippines, which is not a team you want to necessarily be bumping into, because they are going to take a fight. And they aren't going to be shy about it.
No, not at all. But I do really love that feature where we now see like where the teams are pinging, what their rotation look like. You see kind of what they're thinking. They pinged pretty much all of Germany as they were rotating, so they were very aware of the fact that that team is there. Meanwhile, Philippines, we're just talking about a 10 trip. My GOAT on this team has just been unbelievable, and he's going to push back Poland.
Yeah. Master's like, no, I know this song and dance. we have seen this before.
Yeah, and I mean, man, Poland almost got bullied initially by Philippines. But again, once they were able to break off and finally actually play their early game into the mid game, we've seen Poland really shine.
Yeah, Poland's just got to be like, why is it always us?
Okay.
Why is it every time that it's the Philippines are going to be the ones to try to, make our early game just a nightmare? Meanwhile, it's actually Germany who's setting up for somewhat of a bridge camp here. So they probably saw Korea because of Brex's glider, and they're just going to try to kind of keep them at arm's length. But the good news for Korea is you could actually stick down here.
Yeah, so they can take their time. Now, this is actually a really great shift for the Philippines as well. That split is really strong, and the reason for doing this is so think about which side to pick once that hard shift goes. Now, you did say this is good for Korea, and it is.
Also wird es mal gar nichts mit dem Camp.
Korea was very aware of Germany.
Das war mal ein Schuss in den Ofen.
I'm curious if Germany. It might not be a bad idea for them to just sit here.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
I thought they might. I mean, especially given this circle and the situation, but they are actually falling back.
Maybe not, yeah.
There's a bit of a fight in Chumasera proper. Teams trying to make rotations. Vietnam out in front of things. USA is there, but they're just a bit behind. So Vietnam is going to once again leapfrog another team here on one of these, early circle rotations. The real question is where can they end up? There's still a ton of space inside of the zone, so there's a lot to work with, actually.
Especially on the West Coast for a team like Thailand. I mean, Thailand's in an amazing position, but there's so much room on the West. It's just going to be unclaimed unless the circle shifts that way. Then we'll start to see teams make that mad dash. Vietnam in not necessarily trouble, but in a precarious position, I would say. As you can see, Purdy Curdy, USA, trying to put damage, but Indonesia to the rescue. It's going to be Tine.
I like the decision there from Kurt to go right for the wheel.
Trying to
just make that vehicle unviable and see if they can stymie Vietnam, but they had to go for Salazzi. A tire has been popped. Salazzi's buggy was already pretty beat up. If Ming Ming hits that shot, I am going to lose my mind. But he is not able to find it before the hill is going to obscure his vision. Tanbu Salazzi trying to get uphill, but so difficult without those tires. That vehicle's getting really beat up.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, he hit a clean drift when those tires initially got taken out. But something to note is Philippines punished Germany heavily. They lost 2 members, including Breaks, who was up in that glider.
Oh, that's a feels bad man for Germany there. They try to play the safer game, but that opens up the door for Korea to get through. And of course, the Philippines are like, nope, we're going to knock you out of this map if we can.
Oh, I love this aggression. They know when they have a team on their heels, they ramp up the pressure, which again, has got to be so difficult to play against.
It's got to be so frustrating.
Frustrating, annoying, difficult. The pressure is there. And right now, it's up to Chris to just, do what he can. He does have an S12K, so in this close range with the smoke enveloping those rooms, that long building, we know how difficult those are to push. But Korea now looking for an opening here, maybe on CJ. It's going to be Seoul to open up the salvo. It's not going to get the knock, though.
Seoul can relay that information over to Yumin, though. He's like, I hit him a couple times. He should be pretty weak. Now, the first aid is going to come through, I believe. No, he had to pull back.
Und da ist er noch mit der Supergranate.
Yumin is going to claim a point here. So, leaving this player behind has cost the Philippines.
Yeah, but now they have to be careful because of Chris. This can go wrong so quickly, and it does! That's what we were worried about, just one member left.
Finish.
Chris doesn't know if he has time to heal, though.
Oh, man.
I liked the duck there, the crouch slide past Chris.
Sehr gut.
Now
2 Punkte geholt.
Algenbot's going to try to get it done, and he can, just barely. But it's basically mutually assured destruction for both of those teams. That opens up a ton of space for Korea.
And I love this. Korea recognized this salute is going straight for the compound, that long building that you see Algenbots at. Meanwhile, it's going to be China. They're going to have to fend off Norway.
There is some shots ringing out in this direction from Vietnam as well. Looks like an emergency pickup being thought about by the USA, but they don't need to take it. They're still in the zone, so they're going to opt to just hunker down on the mountain that's to the southwest of Chuma. Sarah and Tens there, just waiting out these blue zones for their moment, seeing if they can find an opportunity to strike. But this is a tough nut to crack. Even if it is just Lil Ghost on his own, he is a force to be reckoned with. Grenade, if well thought out, would have been pretty devastating. Now they're starting to kind of work this out. That where is he? Oh my God!
Oh, the timing was crazy, but Little Ghost is still going to find that knock. Still got a lot of work to do though. Nade's coming out utility. Yeah, it was going to be a tall order, but still, that's a. I mean, it was a hell of an attempt. I'll say that.
Yeah, it was a good idea with the Molly there to try to block that door, and he does end up claiming a point out of it at the very least. The rest of China isn't going to try to make a move off of that. They're just going to lock down their territory. Lil Ghost just gets caught. You know, he is more of an IGL, so he wants to kind of be that guy who's out there getting the info, being that solo player. You see like T-Bone on the UK has kind of a similar idea at times. And you can see here a replay of how the Philippines got it done versus Germany. There is no way.
Oh, he didn't miss a shot there on Briggs. That is unlucky.
That is nasty shooting.
And you know what I love about Thailand is they actually took this position now that Korea left, Germany left that door wide open. This is actually such a good spot in the south. You can push that hill of Argentina, and then you're essentially just pushing on foot with your back clear up to center circle. So I really like what Kiss is doing, providing that forward scout for his team of Thailand.
I agree with you fully. I like to play south to north in the southern part of Miramar. It is one of my favorite ways to kind of approach the game. Keep everything behind you. Worry about what's going on in front of you. I learned that from old school Navi. That was like that was where I was like, man, I like the way they do this, and it could work in my regular games. We have the 3 members that are still alive for China trying to harass Vex. Gets over the hill. The car, though, rolling. Not sure if he's going to be able to recover it out. But look at what happened to Rossita Jr. there. He's trying to rotate, and he gets caught.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. A little wonky as we now see USA and the UK battling it out, but no significant damage going out for either team. In fact, it's the duo of UK that are now trying to just consolidate with Vex and Vard. And still, this split is actually, this is just a fight between the 2 splits. And this is where we saw that crazy finish with Tanvu.
Yeah, so the UK is going to have to try to just tuck right underneath this sheer ledge, just like we saw yesterday. And they have to try to hunker down. The real concern is going to be teams like Indonesia do have a little bit of an angle in there. I see a few shots, but they haven't really barreled down on top of them. It looks like just Trick trying to harass the UK from that other mountain.
It's just so ironic because yesterday it was the UK that was above the US and other teams, and now they're feeling the pressure, but that shift leaves so much to be desired for these teams trying to find viable space to play, because there really is nothing to play aside from this western hemisphere of the circle, this road, I should say. It's really just Indonesia that have a good foothold. You can see Norway in that compound, they can't move, and now Vietnam has just opted to go straight for the east side.
Love that. They have control with that 2-2 split, that they have the ability to kind of guess. That is a great Panzer from Ace.
Da ist wieder die Panzerfaust.
On the money.
Mal direkt den Beanie genockt.
Being thought about, but Norway actually shooting Xiaowu in the back. He is able to find the knock anyway. The SLR from Hyman is going to get the knock onto him, though, so Aches left springing into action, looking to see if he can do anything further. Gustav, the last one to roll up. Is he going to be ready for Aches left to be right here? No, he's not.
No, he is not. That was, I mean, it's hard to be ready for that angle if you have your team everywhere else, but Dofi will find the trade on Aches left. So now it's just down to Mingmin, and off in the distance you can see Tanvu is going to find 8C. And Fex will finish off Aixlek from distance. Good steal from him.
Oh, this is heartbreaking for China to go out this early. You're not going to get a ton of kills, seemingly. We'll see if Ming has some magic. But Fex in the back shooting him, and Fex is going to be the one to claim his life. China out early, and Vietnam still 4 strong, still in a good spot in this circle.
Because of course they are. As you can see now, Korea trying to deal with Argentina on the western edge here. And right behind them is going to be Thailand. I worry about Korea. If this doesn't resolve quickly, Thailand's going to be nipping. That's going to be a nice flush from Sol onto Rebo. You can see the distance. Purdy Curdy finding Sparking. Little team turmoil there. Or, well, currently they're not teammates, but they are when they go back home.
Yeah, they will be in a day. Today they are not. Look,
nice shot.
They're helping out Korea a bit here, actually,
yeah.
by keeping Thailand pinned down at the edge of Via Del Mar. Jacob's in the blue. Where he's knocked, so that's really scary for them. Sol trying to be that point man, trying to break things open. Saw this so consistently on day 1 where he was really able to just get fights started on the right foot. Salute often going to be called upon to be that flanker in this current formation that Korea's been running.
So we see Fluky and the rest of Thailand. They are going to get the res off, but we've seen, I mean, we saw it with Korea. They got those reses off and they just dropped down and were free points for other teams. That might be the case here for the rest of Thailand, but I mean, you might as well try. You can see Rossiter Jr. on his way back. Where he's going to go, though, I am just not sure, Paper.
I don't know either, dude. It doesn't look good. I'll put it that way.
Just not sure, Paper.
He's trying to fly right over Poland, but he might just get shot out of the air. I mean, Vietnam's in the vicinity. Oh, he's in trouble. We'll just assume that's a unfortunate situation there for old Rossiter Jr. And Fluky can't do anything but try to find somewhere to go in the blue. Kiss still behind him, but Argentina is just tunneling down. DraftKings right up close and personal, though.
Man, this circle is brutal. There's nothing to play now in the center. All these teams, we're going to see so many players fall here in the next 2 minutes. So it's going to be Kiss to find DraftKings, but he's going to go down, and Thailand will fall. That is expected, as Rossiter really had no gear and nowhere to land.
Thailand
it was a nice attempt from Fluky, but 4th place is going to be Thailand's best for this game.
I'm kind of curious what Korea wants to do off the back of that damage that was done to Argentina. Instead, they're just going to kind of fortify their hold on the northern side of that squad. Kickstart just peppering into Brazil. The vehicle's now going to start to explode, and he's actually hitting a couple shots there onto Sparking as well. So looking for an opportunity to just hamstring Brazil. They're on the outside of the new circle looking in. Grenade there right on the money from Shrimzy. Alo as well had found a knock with the Dragunov, and here comes the USA.
Beautiful stuff. I was about to say, I'm curious if USA have spotted out their next play, but it's just going to be straight into the arms of the UK. And for the USA, that was light work.
Schon super gut für Vietnam. Die zwei
Dude, I'm telling you, when you guys were working the first day of the finals and Korea would go down, the crowd started cheering for USA. It was awesome.
Yeah, I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
They have like their secondary
They
favorites.
do.
Yeah, I really like it. Vietnam doing some work onto Poland there, taking one player down. DraftKings just drive right into them. Damage done both ways, but Cappy actually going to find one. What are you doing up there, Capitan? Oh my God! It almost got Poofa. Oh, he gets hit by the car. Tanu gets knocked, trying to reach out. Korea doing some damage. The superstar for this event for Vietnam gone.
That's the difficulty of this circle. We talked about it. There's nothing to play. The edges that already are occupied, that's pretty much it. And if you're a team like Denmark, you're very happy because you're the only team that's somewhat safe in a compound.
For now.
For now.
For now. But the other thing is these teams like Korea, like Indonesia, like Norway need to solidify their control of their, as you said, hemispheres. I really like that. It's really vital that you contain as much space as you can up there, because that gives you the ability to make sure that your rotations are a little bit safer. Maybe get some kills here and there, but you know, then you don't have to guess who's gonna like rotate first, right, and all these weird little kind of tic-tac-toe games that come
you
through.
can just wait for them to get in front, you punish, and then you take over. So, and that's what Poland's trying to do. Now, unfortunately, they do have a ridge to work with as well, but they're going to have to run into Vietnam, which is the unfortunate part of that. So we'll see how they're going to be able to do. And I mean, if USA can get rid of the UK, they could also try to flex out, but it looks like Himas is actually flexing up towards them.
He is just ultra confident, as he should be. The smokes are really nice here for Korea. They've gotten a decent read on where some of these players are, so now comes the grenade barrage. Will they be able to find any knocks off of it, though? No, Indonesia had completely evacuated to the backside of the building, to the safety of that area. They're doing a great job of dodging this utility. They anticipated this barrage well ahead of time, so now the blue zones and other things are coming out. What in the world? Sololzi's got a mortar. Seoul Union going to combine. All of a sudden, Indonesia in trouble.
And look at the amount of utility being used here for Korea. They are just cooking Indonesia inside of this building. It's just down to Trick and TD now.
The blue is here, though. It's Korea taking some damage from that. They got to try to make their way through. Raining out the window. Is anybody going to be ready? No. He's going to step right around the corner. Sol and Raining on the ground. Teddy here trying to pre-fire the window. Yumin watches him go by, but can't pull the trigger in time. Meanwhile, over here, Vietnam and the USA are squaring up, but it's Sololzi's mortars who have really devastated the United States.
They just mortared the United States out of existence, essentially. It's just down to Shrimsy now. I mean, they had this top bridge. You can see the nades going out, but Shrimsy's going to have to do this all alone.
Schon wieder!
At when Delwin will have to push the edge of the blue. He came out just a little bit ahead, cooked it just a little bit too long. Emergency cover going to come out here for Old Shrims. Trying to see if he can hang on to life a little bit longer. And there's a good one from Shrimsy right on the
Imas, aber richtig genommen.
He's got a chance, but he's
Shrimsy's Granate.
Put that nade right in Himas's pocket. As Delwin now coming out of the blue, he's got to heal this blue. This is phase 6. This is hurting. You can't take it too much. Delwin will find the USA. They will fall in 8th place, at least in the points. But now it's down to Sololzi and Delwin for Team Vietnam. And again, another game where they are salvaging placement and points. They just cannot be stopped.
Finally they are, but not before.
Okay, also gut, die haben 7 Punkte die Runde geholt, aber trotzdem, was war denn das?
Over China.
Lassen sich da in der Zone alle Blutzonen knocken. Ach du Heilige.
So Korea is doing well with what they have, though. They're trying to punish and at least get the kills on the east side of the circle before they too will have to move down at some point. This is very wise. They're getting a good
T-Bone ist
going to be Norway, though. It's going to be Hyman that finds T-Bone. But UK are not safe yet. T-Bone's going to go down. Feck stuck in the blue. I imagine he's not long for this world.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. He will, in fact, go down to the blue zone. 6th place for the United Kingdom here in our first game of the last day of PNC 2025. Santastico still alive. Him and Sparking. See what they can get done. A nice push over the hill. Catches Salute off guard. 8Z looking to try to finish the job and claim this side for themselves. Can't get the spray to go. The smokes were there, but the frag could be devastating. Raining thinking of one of his own. Comes up just a bit short. Raining answers, almost gets the knock onto 8Z. Down to 1 HP. Raining has to hunker down.
The fact that he's still holding him off, and it took so long that now Denmark and Brazil are taking shots. But Korea will be eliminated in 5th, but the damage was done in Norway.
Und nice stuff from 8Z die letzten 4 Teams.
Too much. Was able to get
keiner
the
mit
job
vollen
done.
Members.
Grenades and some good
Die
fire.
einzigen,
Now you have Denmark
die meisten haben
trying to
das
survive
Polen
this
mit 3.
Brazil push. Sparking there, low on health. Not sure if he's going to have time for that res or what the situation is up there.
Ziemlich schrecklich aus.
Holding that corner.
This is so awkward, being so close to each other.
Ein paar Bäume und
But now
Felsen
they're
an
kind of
diesem
working
Hang.
together as the
Die
compound gets
Straße
pushed
ist da
out.
und
And
dann
holy,
Open
what a position
Field.
they have now.
Also, wir werden gleich richtig gespannt bleiben, was zum Henker gleich passieren wird. Das Auto zu nehmen und ein bisschen Cover zu holen, für die Dänen wäre vielleicht die einzige Option. Aber die haben natürlich noch Brasilien im Nacken.
Careful.
Easy.
Don't run Cappy over Marsalek. Come on, man.
Oh, he almost did it again. Marsalek, please. Don't let this man drive.
We're going to have to revoke his driver's license.
Yeah, and Norway, again, 8Z being that forward anchor point. You can see James holding back. He knows his teammate's there. He has a good run up to his teammate. The angles are cut off from what Poland would be looking at. And so his job right now, James, is to get these kills outside of the circle and try to secure themselves in Brazil. Making it difficult. Dofi is going to find the trade. Though Sparky didn't have any heals, but it's going to be Santastico to finish it off, and 8Z will finish them off in return.
It's a 3v2 now. Poland versus Norway. Norway has the mountains. Poland on the low ground. Norway It's going to be Jeans and nahezu, two insanely good players. Been around for so long. PUBG Esports. nahezu there
Underground.
has the player pinned behind the tree.
Da versucht jetzt
just trying to dodge as much damage as he can to set up for this push from Marcellek.
Die
Bounces,
Granate
does
kommt
some
gut,
damage, but
aber
Marcellek
kein
gets
Knock.
spotted, and he's going to reposition off that. Doesn't want to challenge from that particular spot. More smokes are going to have to come out here for Pufa and Cappy.
Wird mehr gesmoked.
For now, but
Damit
it's
er
kind of
über
an
die Straße
awkward
kommen
situation where
kann, auf
no
dem
team really
Hügel.
controls the center right now. You can see Jeems flexing out on Pufa. Pufa currently looking at Jeems and nahezu. And then you can see this kind of awkward fight on the top of this hill with the blue coming in. And now here comes the smokes. And you can see how close these teams are in points, which is why this is such a big impact for either one who can claim the victory here.
Absolutely. This is a great
Da ist der
battle,
Knock.
but man, Jeems able to get
2 gegen
just
2.
enough damage in. nahezu though, under pressure. Cappy, good cover fire from Jeems to put Cappy back behind the hill to go for the first aid. nahezu looking to swing around a little bit. The Norwegian fans getting into it right now. They want to see their home team do something special and get a win here at PNC.
And for me, this is just the experience difference between Jeems and Norway and Poland. Knowing that Pufa was the only thing holding back this duo from actually utilizing the terrain that they're on, Jeems was able to find that knock and completely even this out.
I like the mollies there. Force Marcellek away from that tree. Stuns are coming through. I think Cappy might have caught the bad end of one of those, so he's going to have to fall back momentarily. Poland now going to try to group up, see if they can isolate one of the Norway players. Jeems a bit ahead of it, gets some decent damage in.
The problem is AC's vest is pretty much shredded, so you don't even need headshots to take him down. Just a nice burst center mass should be enough to put him down. But you see the same for Cappy. His armor's pretty much done and dusted as well. I would imagine Jeems probably doesn't have great armor either.
No, it's been a long, hard-fought battle here, and now the trap is sprung. nahezu gets one, immediately ducks back behind. Cappy Marcellek had no idea. Last stun in the bag for nahezu. Trying to wrap here, trying to see if
bisschen gewirkt.
Cappy out just a little bit. He's got it. nahezu gonna come through with the final 2 kills. And it's gonna be Norway who takes the first game of the day.
Man, and the way that they navigated that hillside, that was a difficult position to play from. But what really helped them do that was their timing, and there they are celebrating.
He's got a shot.
I love it, but Norway, that's a big win for them because that's going to give them even more confidence to start to really make their climb up this leaderboard into some real money.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be surprising at all.
Norweger freuen sich natürlich tierisch da, einen Win ausgeholt haben.
They have looked
Haben
so
eine kleine
strong
Show.
since day one of this
dabei.
event. And they played that end game so darn well. And like you said, you could see that experience difference a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, because Pufa just couldn't go down there. He was the anchor point that was stopping them from pushing over towards the other 2 members of Poland. And, you know, Poland tried to get aggressive there to help him out, but realistically they backed off, and that pretty much actually got Pufa killed.
Yeah, it was a tough situation there for both teams. Really not the easiest spot to be on. It's a pretty steep mountain as well. As we go back and take a look at some of the highlights, Chinese Taipei were the ones to kind of get us rocking and rolling here as they took down Team Australia. Tiggleton able to have a couple fancy ones. Mani got involved as well from the hillside, but what
the
really
4x dragon
just unbelievable take. But what really hurt him was Teddy, actually.
Teddy, yeah. Indonesia came in, and this is what we talked about. I mean, Chinese Taipei were the ones that initially third-partied them on Pachiki, but teams are now savvy of what's going on with these hot drops with these early fights, and so they're coming in to get the kills, and I think that's absolutely fantastic. Why not? As long as you can find the opportunity, and I will say a lot of the SCA teams are the ones finding those opportunities sooner than the other ones, and then we saw this crazy fight. TD has been just so exceptional for his team, and definitely a player to watch for after this event.
Yeah, him and Trick looking really good throughout the course of 2025 for PNC. Sparking and Santastico at least able to win that battle, get a little bit further through, some smiles, you know, they felt like that was okay.
It was an okay game. Given that circle and their rotation and how difficult that was losing players early, I think that was a great salvage game from them.
Agreed. I like that. The concerning thing, of course, is that Vietnam, nobody really gained much ground. In fact, they pulled a little bit further away from China.
I mean, they got 8 more points that game, so that now puts them, I believe, at what, 160? So they're trying to get that gap even further, but China fighting back a little bit. But China didn't have a great game that one, so
no,
that doesn't help them.
That 1-3 split, which
with Little Ghost. Yeah, I mean, I get the idea, but there's just no feasible way for those three to support that split of the solo player, right? And we saw Little Go, sure, he got 1 point, but he was down, and they could have really used him later in that game as they were trying to push that southern edge. So
It was Norway.
It was Norway, yeah.
Pushed him out of that position. I kind of wonder if, we don't know what happened, we didn't get to see it, but if Lil Ghost had been able to escape that, get back, and they do like a 2-2 split.
A 2-2, yeah, that could have been a completely different game for China.
Yeah, I think then you're looking at a different scenario there where maybe they're able to take that fight in that crossroads
more
compound.
confidently, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Another thing that we really didn't get to see was what happened to USA. Sololzi just hit perfect mortars and I think knocked 3 of them.
That has to suck. I mean, that's close range mortar stuff there too, and that just not much you can do about it sometimes. When you're out in the open like that, you're trying to just run along the edge of a road, and
they were trying to deal with UK, to be fair, so they weren't even worried about Vietnam, and they just sent mortars their way, so that was ridiculous. As we now look at the top 4 teams, Norway claiming a first place, 12 kills from that team, but really the duo in the end, able to clean up. So fantastic work by just the veterans, AC and James.
Yeah, a solid game for Korea, 8 kills, a couple placement points. They took some good fights, some timely fights, some fights they had to, but when they took them, they were relatively clean.
And then Poland, getting second. We saw Brazil with their salvage. Poland making it to second place, only 2 kills. They didn't get as much as they wanted. I think they were more focused on just their position in the circle. But man of the match, 8Z, no surprise, 5 kills, 742 damage. He worked that ridgeline masterfully.
And he was the one who found the timing on Korea to get that first knock, to break that fight open so that Korea just had no real recourse there. Some decent grenades from Raining, but he couldn't ever really get the gun barrel down.
Agreed, and that's the most important thing that you brought up was timing. Timing had to be perfect, because if they had done that push at either a couple seconds earlier or later, there's a good chance that he was probably just gonna get knocked, but the window of opportunity they found was just immaculate.
Yeah, he caught Korea when they were kind of busy dealing with some stuff on the other side of the road, Really close game though overall. I mean, Norway with a huge 22-pointer, but everybody else is like really damn close.
Yeah, I mean, the whole leaderboard is so close as we see now. Yes, the top is pulling away, but you look at all the way from Korea, I'd say down to pretty much Argentina down by 20 points. Like that's not an insurmountable gap.
No.
And any of the teams can kind of close that. And I'll tell you what, 8th, 9th to 4th place is a considerable amount of prize pool.
No, you're absolutely right. So that is such a kind of important pivot point here to look at as we go out to another Miramar, and we will keep our eyes on that leaderboard, of course, throughout the day. We are well underway here today. We're going to see if Vietnam can keep it up or if somebody else is going to make a run here. It looks great for Vietnam. They played another solid one, but we find ourselves onto our second Miramar for PNC.
It saddens me so, because it's the last Miramar of the event.
Why do you gotta say that? Now I'm sad.
I know, I didn't want to, but I needed someone to share the sadness with me. I didn't want you to be happy and me to be sad.
You're bringing me down with you. Oh, okay.
Also, make sure, you guys, if you want to watch from specific teams' perspectives, use the multi-view. It's a great tool. Also, if you just want to support your favorite team. I know Australia was streaming. USA is also in there. China, Korea. Get involved, watch those, and then just learn you something, right? It helps you so much to see exactly what they're doing from their perspective.
And how they're talking about things.
Exactly.
That's so important.
If you happen to understand whatever language you're watching, of course, but yes. Even if you don't, just watching a team and seeing how they move and where they're pinning, stuff like that helps so much, even with your own game in let's say, pubs.
Absolutely. Even loot patterns, in a way. Like, a lot of people don't think about that, like saving time in how you're looting buildings.
Or what you're taking, what you're willing not to take.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, well, we look at Norway. They are heading over to the eastish a bit, just past Hacienda, and more towards the Minas Generales general direction. Norway, great game, man. Poland have another solid effort. It's just like, if they can just get into that late game, they've got a shot. Like, they're solid.
They do have a shot. Now, I will give them a break as far as the kills. They only got 2 last game, but they really did not have opportunities to get many kills, because remember, they were at the bottom of that valley, and so all the fighting was happening on either peak on the west and east. So they really did have an opportunity to get many kills. Speaking of kills and opportunities, oh no, Brazil! They're going straight for Norway. They haven't even landed yet. And this could be a disaster for the team that just won our last game.
Oh, I love this. Brazil needs points, and they know it. Aitzi just has to throw a molly at the ground. He couldn't find a gun, so he's trying to buy himself a little bit of extra time. Did scoop up a Vector, but he's got the full force of Brazil bearing down on top of him, except for Poso is just a little bit further out. Gotta be cautious with how many bullets you're willing to spray. BL gets the headshot with the ace, and that puts Aitzi out of commission early.
And I love the adaptation here, though, from Brazil. They recognized it. They immediately went to punish it. Doesn't matter if it's outside of the circle. If they can get rid of Norway, that's 4 points going into whatever they're going to find consistently when it comes to placement, because they've been able to at least make it to top 8 of almost every single game.
This is just great stuff that Sparking is calling here, because he recognizes a bunch of different things at once. He's like, look, we've got him, we got the drop on him, we got the vehicles, you know, we got the guns, but it's also about the leaderboard for themselves and for the other teams, as we do have an interview, I believe, with Brex from Germany.
Hi, I'm Brex, and I play for Team Germany. I like Seoul. I think Seoul is like a beautiful city. I've been here like 3 times already, and it's always nice to be here. Personally, it's like a big chance for me. It's like good to like play a LAN. It's always nice to represent your country, and yeah, it's just an honor, to be honest. Danke an jeden einzelnen Zuschauer da draußen, die uns supporten. Wir werden unser Bestes geben und viel Spaß bei den Spielen.
Danke werden wir haben und dir viel Erfolg.
He looks like a police officer to me.
Brex, unser Scouter.
I don't know why this like weird thoughts come into my head.
I'm surprised he's not wearing aviator goggles instead of glasses, because he's always in the sky. I mean, that's where he's... I took 3 years of German. The only phrase I know or remember is, oh, hold on, we'll get to that. Gustav is going to find Sharimzi. Not the best of start there for USA, but again, with Rezes where they are early, I mean, this fight doesn't really matter if they're down to 1 as long as they can clean it up, but Gustav's going to get a second one. Ayla will fall.
This is disaster for the United States. Kurt and Kick at least get 2. It's all in the Kick, though. He got traded out. Did Purdy Curdy. Beamy. Ooh, Kick had an opportunity, but couldn't get the spray to connect. And it's going to be point claim here for the side of Denmark. Now, if Kick can survive, could get the reses, but he's trying to get up close and personal. He's trying to finish this fight before Denmark can get reses of their own. Around the vehicle, a bunch of damage both ways. Beamy very weak, but Gustav trying to press, and he's got the advantage. That is going to be the USA down. Now look who shows up, it's Vietnam.
Yep, Vietnam heard the fight. They're going to clean it up as they are 4 strong. They're not going to give Denmark any room to breathe, as they shouldn't. This is what makes them so difficult to deal with.
Okay, zum Glück wissen wir nicht ganz genau, wo die sind. Sonst wären die Granaten tödlich gewesen, wahrscheinlich. Aber die haben immer noch nicht ihre Mates gerettet.
Out in the open. This is a weird split. Yeah, Vietnam trying to sneak a player in, I think. Look at Himas.
Yeah, so they actually put Himas there and put everyone else in front to make sure that if Denmark tried to retreat, this is actually so intelligent. This is so smart from Vietnam. I love this decision making. Again, cutting off that southern retreat and just forcing them to fight in that concrete prio with Himas already there.
So the only thing is you've given time for the reses to come through for Denmark.
That is true.
Vietnam.
That is true. In fact, all 4.
Yeah, you didn't take advantage. So I think they realized that too, and that's why they bring Himas over. Because now they're like, okay, well, if you guys back out, so be it.
I thought they were going to cut that off and then allow Himas to work and try to go for a knock and at least stop them and then collapse. But no, they give Denmark a full recovery, but I'm not sure how much gear they're going to have from this.
Wie viele danach von dem Team am
Leben sind. From what I see, it doesn't look great.
I
have to see. I think all eyes on this part of the map right now, because not much else going on otherwise, and this is pretty pivotal for the event. If Vietnam wins this fight like cleanly,
they might run away with it, because this is dead center. This is one of the best compounds to be in currently in the circle. So yeah, I guess it makes sense they didn't want to risk that. And you know what? That's also intelligent from Vietnam. Even though they have a massive lead, how many times have we seen a team with a massive lead just like, oh, we can push this, we can fight this. They die, they go out early, they don't get points, and then all of a sudden that starts a snowball effect that really starts to come back and haunt them. So Vietnam, fair play.
Oh man, Bart, this is not great. He's got a bunch of players from Korea that are finding flank angles. Salute has one, Raining's about to get another. Yeah, there you go. That should be easy money for the Korean team. Bard sticking around there as an anchor on the rotations and gets caught out. Did he flip the vehicle, or did that The tires are all
Tires
good.
are good, so yeah, I mean, flipping a Murado on Miramar is not a shocker. I mean, we've all done it. The terrain is not conducive at all for driving that vehicle, but he will go down. Unlucky for him. Still 3 members up of the UK, and they can always get him back if they want.
That's a good point. They could take their time. They've stopped at the edge of Los Leones. They could just let Korea go on by, drive through, grab the blue chip, assuming Korea doesn't do something funky with it.
I doubt it. Korea actually had a pretty decent game last game, so if they can build off that, they can kind of chip away at 3rd and 4th place. I mean, they're knocking on the heels of 3rd. Still got work to do with 2nd, but it's possible.
They're going for another wide wrap, similar to the previous game here on Miramar. So
Yeah.
kind of curious about that, if they just kind of trail Germany, let them be kind of that early warning system.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, let them fight some teams in front and then figure it out from there.
And you know what?
Da ist er.
Just happened. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I was
Aber
gonna
das war
bounce off your
Polen.
point, but
Polen hat Gustav
how did
genockt.
this happen? Was it? It had to have been a nade, right?
Und Vietnam ist auch einer
There was
genockt.
somebody hit a bolt shot. I think Poland got one of the knocks.
Oh, Delwin's gonna get flushed.
Au,
Yeah.
wow.
That's a big loss.
Oh me, oh my. That's crazy. So you were just talking about this. This could come back to bite Vietnam,
Yeah.
this maneuver.
They had the opportunity to really close that out. Again, I praised them at first, but giving Denmark time to recover may not have been it. We'll see Gustav with 5 kills, 4 of which came at the detriment of Team USA. Now 1 from Team Vietnam. And he's so good, man.
He is incredible. Him and Beamy, just superstars in their own rights. I always love watching those guys.
Beamy's a superstar here, man. He has a lot of Korean fans.
He does. He's just so consistent. He's such a talented player. That's not the best angle, but hey, didn't get knocked. Got a little bit of info potentially on the positioning of one of the Vietnam players in that window. So might be able to read that. The res is going to be sat
for
on.
it, yeah. And the sad thing, though, for Denmark, there really is nothing they can do about this. I mean, pushing out into this would be ill-advised, and so, yeah, they're going to... Here's the thing. Delwin is going to come back, but he still has to land.
That's a good point. That could be punished, you would think, by Denmark.
Yeah.
Assuming he's going to land with the rest of his team.
Oh, no. So, okay, very smart. Okay, this is smart. See, he's like, you know what? I'm going to grab a vehicle. I'm going to go loot where I know there probably isn't anyone. And then I'm going to drive back in so I don't have to just get completely melted while in the sky. So, actually, very intelligent by Delwin.
The problem is there's some late rotations because of that fight with the UK and Korea. We'll see. We'll see. He might be able to navigate it. Ah, Pufa gets the knock on a Gustav there from downtown.
Yeah, but then who got the knock onto Delwin? We saw the blue zone that flushed
Had to
him.
be Gustav, right?
I suppose.
Because he's got 5 kills.
Oh,
Well, he got the flush. I don't know if he
trotzdem
got the.
war
Actually,
You're right.
No, you're right. He probably got the knock too. You're right.
geschossen, aber
That's why they pay you the big bucks.
überlebt.
I got the small break.
I'm guessing. I'm always just, you know, throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. This is a crazy circle.
Germany, though, Delwin, in his infinite wisdom, honestly, a good idea to do what he did not expect Germany to be here. And that's the thing that I wanted to bounce off. We've seen almost every southern circle, Germany holding the south, and then Korea
Rex ist da.
successfully
mal
rotating
nicht
down here, which is why
anfliegen.
we always see these two
Aber
teams next to each other down here
wird
near
denn jetzt?
this bridge in Partona.
Yeah, that's a really
Hoffentlich.
good point. Vietnam.
Oh,
Are they
oh.
going to send it to try to save Delwin?
Why not? I love this.
Madness, but it can work. Delwin
Komm schon, komm
in
schon.
trouble. Delwin, he
has
has
no
no gun. It's heartbreaking. Vietnam can't save their IGL, but they're at least able to rotate into a new spot. They're still center circle. They're still going to be a threat in the later stage of this game, for sure.
I would say this is arguably better for them because they can actually flex out now without having to worry about Denmark. Meanwhile, Denmark in that compound, while it is great positionally, they kind of have a ridge to their south they can't see past, and realistically, the only teams they can try to punish are the ones to their north.
Oh, Rex, not ready for Hemas's angle. Takes a whole bunch of damage. Chris just gets shut right down. Salalzi gonna put a headshot into him. Gustav finds a knock onto Germany, and they're getting shot from a bunch of different directions. Brex somehow still alive.
Yeah. And former enemies, now somewhat teammates. You saw Gustav helping out Vietnam. And it's just down to one member now
Scheiße.
from Germany as Brex will go down.
Germany holt sich zwar
And
einen
Korea,
Punkt,
meanwhile,
aber
just off to
wird
the
hier
side on
richtig
this
gepunished.
in a fantastic position for themselves this early. This is truly a wonderful position they found.
Yeah, and I'm sure for Korea today they feel like they're probably playing with, you know, free money in a way, because they're like, look, it's almost impossible that we catch Vietnam, so why not just go out fragging? Yeah, who cares? You know, just have fun with it, get the best you can, and, you know, put on a show for the hometown fans.
And that's very scary. A Korea like that with that mindset is very scary for this lobby, because we already saw what they were capable of early in day one.
They can frag. There's no doubt about that. And when you have a player like Seoul on your team who was just nasty, he was so hungry to get back onto a global stage, show what he's got. You know, that's going to be a big piece of this puzzle. 2-2 split for Indonesia as they send a couple players up on a high mountainside. In fact, they're doing 2 different high mountains in the southwest edge. That's kind of interesting there.
Yeah, but the way that Indonesia has positioned themselves in most of these early game circles, they're just not interested in getting messed with at all. They tend to come in the mid game fairly unscathed. We kind of saw that when they initially fought on the west side of that last game. Again, just avoiding the early game or even causing some issues for other teams in the early game, and then just taking an edge that isn't necessarily super congested.
That's true. That's true. The problem for them is Chinese Taipei rolled up, so now Simoy trying to see if he can get over there and create some kind of extra angle or reinforce the position in some way. But Chinese Taipei is going to slow up the pace a little bit. This is still inside of the new circle. Xavier hasn't made his way all the way over either. So they're going to take their time to think about this. Yeah, you got the Philippines underneath, and wow, we shifted this direction even. That's a crazy shift.
That is a crazy shift to say the least, but the beneficiaries are Brazil and Poland and China. I mean, Australia, even if they can get past China at a good spot, you can see the fight starting to happen now. Tiggleton raining out, but finds nothing. Those are hard shots to land anyways. He's just trying to at least let them know that, you know, he's there. I didn't expect really anyone to land those.
It's that peacocking, right? Where you're trying to just fluff out your feathers, make yourself look bigger than you are. And Tiggleton there doing his best, but you know, China's just going to kind of counter move a little bit in response. Send some players out to try to contain.
But the storm could be an opportunity for either China or Australia to get closer. You can see now Luke 12 and Monty joining, or Flood joining Tiggleton and Monty here just underneath China. Meanwhile, it's going to be Chinese Taipei who are on that edge. You called this against Indonesia now. In fact, they're getting dangerously close to Indonesia.
I'm worried about Trick. He's got Brazil curious about what's going on across the road.
Right.
And he's tucked in. He very well could be hidden, but he might be taking a fight. In fact, I see some shots ringing out in that part of the map. Norway has to make a rotation. Korea just ahead of them, and they're going to try to wrap wide. Wow, I almost sounded like Elmer Fudd there, dude. Like, what the heck happened?
Oh boy. Whap wide. I love it. It's okay. Yesterday I could not speak, so it happens to the best of us. As Korea, again, extending their control now, and they have that duo just to the east side of where Argentina is sitting, and that's a great compound, but I imagine Korea is eyeballing it, saying, we want that.
For sure. And they are looking for an opportunity. It's going to probably take a little bit to manifest, but I'm kind of curious about Norway, dude. Like, this is a really tough spot to be in. There is like that little group of buildings that's just to the south of Argentina that's available, but that's like a really awful spot to be in. There's so much that can see into those compounds.
Exactly, and to your point, it's because so many teams are able to see that, and the buildings themselves are not the greatest. It's not somewhere that you want to be. The problem also is that the teams around them are the freaking Philippines. They are so good at punishing teams coming in.
That's a great point, and they might be finding out sooner rather than later how difficult it is to fight against the Philippines, but maybe they could turn that fight around and do some work there. They will be able to settle up underneath. China still tracking Australia, just looking to see if they can find their moment, find their opportunity. Australia is being very cautious about this, you know, based on what we see, and there's one of those frags that we're talking about, one of those knocks coming through, and it's a quick finish. There was a trade for 8C, but that fight kind of 1-for-1 right now. Curious if we'll cut down to it at all. This is getting weird. What is this circle?
Yeah, this is really weird. You have that mountain position you see Brazil on, and then you have the compound just to the southwest of it, which is where Indonesia is sitting. But what a crazy split. They've been holding this for so long. Surely they're going to consolidate into that compound and let Chinese Taipei take that mountaintop compound.
I feel like they have to get away from Chinese Taipei. Like, that is too much of a fight. Meanwhile, there's 3 teams trying to rotate together. If you look at the mini-map, it is chaos. It's traffic at rush hour right now. Vietnam just a step ahead of Korea. Korea gonna take a ridgeline position. They have a dip for themselves. Vietnam wants more.
And that's a great dip that Korea have found for themselves. Vietnam taking this single story. We've seen teams time and time again win from this position just because it's the only form of cover in the circle. Once those compounds to the west finally get pushed out, but Tanvu is going to find Pufa, and that's a knock that they probably will not be able to confirm. Meanwhile, Rossida Jr. will crash into this compound we initially saw with Denmark and Vietnam.
Yeah, Denmark hasn't had to leave, so they've just been chilling. They just dug in and waited things out. Thailand going to use that opportunity to get a step ahead. Now they're going to have eyes down onto Poland. Smokes are out, though, so for now, Poland's okay-ish. Pop some tires there potentially. Vietnam just going to use this position like it's a turret. Just try to shoot anything and everything that's around them. Oh,
no, it's a duck.
Had the Groza. Couldn't get the spray to go, but Esther was right around the corner. You are going to lose
unlucky
for that. Germany. Point.
Yeah, but if they can at least get 3 up alive in that position in that shack, that's a win. It had to be up. I was going to say the detriment of Marcelek. That's okay, but Pufa also might go down. No, they're going to recover him. So very sketchy, but good recovery from Poland.
No, I'm shaking my head because I'm just like, man, Poland's in a tough spot right now. This shack is not ideal. You might be able to survive for a little bit longer. But but going further forward, I think it's going to be tricky. Finally, the fight has to happen between Australia and China, but it's actually Thailand who finds an angle onto Ake's left. In the meantime, Argentina has found a knock onto Korea. Ake's left trying to be recovered here by China. They need this game to go a little bit better. Brazil strikes from behind. They're opening things up here. Australia has to turn around.
Yeah, Australia have to fight. A reprieve found for China, and it comes via Brazil, and that's going to be a knock for Sparking. It's going to be onto Flood, and all of a sudden Australia, who were kind of putting the pressure on China, now are the ones that are on the back foot, and that's all because of Brazil's switch in position and focus.
Tickleton trying to keep China.
Oh, look at Thailand now.
Here comes Thailand. China's in trouble too. This is disaster for a couple of these teams. Jacob trying to go for the spray, is able to get the re-knock onto Ake's left. Luke, though, gonna turn his attention over to Thailand, takes down Jacob nice and quick. Flood has been flushed out, Monty as well by Sparking. So China able to escape. Ake's left on the ground. Gonna leave another player there, maybe thinking they can still get this res to go through. In the meantime, a flush finally comes through in a unit forever ago by Argentina. And they're taking a bunch of damage. What a turn there from Seoul, though. Seoul getting active, taking down Capitan.
And what a trade. So aware again to get that turn, and it's gonna be raining. He's also gonna help out, but in the distance, it's gonna be Emmy to find raining, and now the spray from Seoul. He's the last member alive for Korea.
Seoul just couldn't quite get the angle in time. Emmy able to escape back down behind the hill, but Seoul throws a nade at him, keeps him honest, keeps him backed off. Now the smokes are going to come down there. In the meantime, Ake's left still somehow hasn't been flushed out of this lobby just yet, and finally it is going to happen. It's going to be Rossida Jr. who in the long run is going to be the one to get those points. Seoul just trying to do everything he can. The grenade just goes just a bit too far.
Yeah, but they're recovering, but still Argentina had an opportunity to recover as well, but Salute is not done. He's still going to find the headshot onto Rebo. He has a 1 HP, 1 literal HP to try to survive and save Korea in this dip.
Unbelievable. He got that knock, the confidence to take a peek there and see what he could do. Now he just has to fan out and try to fight on 2 different angles. Emmy takes some damage himself. DraftKing trying to look up and over. The prone down. Salute's in trouble, and he's gone.
It took so much effort, though, from Argentina as well as other teams to get rid of him. But meanwhile, it was what you were worried about. Poland will fall, and now Brazil have to come out off the top of that. That dip that China is in is so not advantageous with Brazil just being right above them. The only saving graces of teams like Thailand or Argentina or Vietnam can shoot Brazil off as they try to come down, but that dip is open and you can see all of China looking up towards Brazil.
This is such a nice game for Brazil. They've kept control of that high ground for so long, and they've been able to just rake in a few extra points. 6 total kills for them in this one. And yeah, China, Vietnam, everybody's fighting around them. They go into this shack and they're just chilling because everybody else is busy trying to control their edges.
Yeah, we've seen it time and time again. The team that often gets that field avoids all the crazy fighting around the edge and also the angles, right? They're the only ones that really have any form of real hard cover aside from Argentina, who have done a great job flexing out and getting rid of not only Korea, but now starting to dictate the movement of the teams right above them.
I think that confidence from yesterday that Argentina was able to accumulate is carrying over here today. Brazil just making it rain. Doing a great job peppering these other teams, really farming that damage, reducing the value of those armors and of those helmets. Vietnam still going to be dead center. DraftKings has a foothold for Argentina. Rybox has to be super careful of what's going on to his north. Gustav has been prone in just a little bit of a divot.
Yeah, and he's going to be relatively unseen. The problem for Rebo and Argentina, though, is that you saw their armor. I mean, they're shredded to pieces. They got in multiple fights, multiple knocks. So they're essentially unarmored and don't even have a helmet. I'm pretty sure Rebo's helmet was down to its last durability.
That's going to be tough for them. Maybe they can find a good fight, recover a little bit of that stuff. Brazil is going to stay up here as long as they can help it, try to do as much damage. You know, if they could find a knock, find an opening, maybe that's when they can make their move. They do have Simoy down out there, and they know it, so they're going to make sure that he isn't able to be rezzed by Indonesia. China, I don't think they have a vehicle left. I think they're going to have to get this next move on foot.
Yeah, I was going to say Brazil's going to have to focus China if they want to move in past that, but meanwhile, Calbs is going to find a trade there. And never mind, Philippines just gets eliminated. Savior just deleting what's left of the Philippines, and Chinese Taipei really coming alive today, actually.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. See if they can climb uphill, do some more damage. Trick with a Groza, makes short work of Sparking, trying to come down the rocks. It looks like they're opting for the parachute method here on Brazil. China going to use that opportunity while everybody's watching them to try to cross, but eyes firmly down on top of them.
Nicht so viele Knocks, wie es noch geht da vom High Ground,
China's getting shot at.
damit sie nicht in Trouble geraten, falls sie jetzt da runterspringen müssen.
From Argentina. So everything kind of crumbling here outside. Rossiter Jr. gonna sniff out Gustav, and we're down to our top 7.
Yeah, and even if Brazil go down here, though, they've done a great job to get at least 10 points. Now in the placement points, they're going to get more than that. And it's possible if they wipe out China, they're going to get
Taipei mit den einzigsten vollen Members
overall for Brazil,
im Game noch.
Absolutely did not go
Da
in
kommt der nächste. Und China ist
that was a nice spray too. Really clean on that one.
eliminiert worden.
Is just on the warpath right now. They wipe out Thailand to their north. Chai Wei turning his attention to Vietnam. Got a little bit of help from DraftKings there. Tan Bu, the jump up, the up and over is hitting, but he can't find the knock. He keeps going back and forth. Is he gonna get it? There is no way. Jose, Leo, actually Chai Wei gets the knock onto Leo there, but it's okay. You dealt with Tan Bu. Himas, the final boss here for Vietnam, storms in to try to finish what his teammates started. Didn't see anybody there that blocked vehicle, and he's got one. He looks for another out the window. You're in trouble, but the drop shot from Mao Rush gets the job done.
Yeah, but if you're the rest of the lobby, there was a sigh of relief
Die
there
letzten
as
drei
they
Teams
fell.
ging es richtig
Vietnam
flott.
winning would almost be the nail in the coffin.
Australien mit den
As now it's just down to
bestmöglichen
3 teams: Argentina, Indonesia,
Möglichkeiten,
and
das
Chinese
Game jetzt
Taipei,
noch
and
nach
all teams
außen zu
limping in,
nehmen.
but Argentina the strongest with 3 members alive,
3
currently with
gegen
7
2 gegen
kills, and
1.
what a game it's been for them.
Taipei noch einer
This is
Knock
looking
und
great.
der
We're
letzte
gonna see another Argentina win.
Taipei, so wird
you're
hier
right.
gerade
Love to see
unter
Chinese Taipei come through and do
Beobachtung
something special,
genommen.
but they're going to be able to maybe get this res.
Kommt jetzt noch
Emmy's
der
kind of
Red
angling in that
durch?
direction, but I think they have
Scheint
enough
so,
cover
der
in
hat
that
gerade
shack
ein
that they're going to be
bisschen
okay.
Zeit.
Meanwhile, Teddy and Trick, just a
Indonesia am
tremendous duo for
Rumrotieren
Indonesia,
und
fanning out,
spähen.
looking for some kind of open space. Trick's got the bus, so he has some moving cover for him.
That's a very important point. That's desperately needed cover in a circle where there really isn't much. Even if he gets destroyed, as long as he gets it to where he needs to in that circle, that's huge. So, Argentina and DraftKings now
schönes
trying to get rid of the last two members.
And it's kind of one of those situations where you actually want the bus.
Yeah, no. Normally you're just like, man, this thing is slow as hell. It's kind of easy to get shot out of, depending on the angle. But no, they need that bus. Getting it in, again, the cover you stated, the mobile cover is huge.
Let's see if they can get there. Starting to sneak underneath Argentina as best as they can. And this is a nice little angle that Teddy's found. He should be A-okay here. I think it's going to be tough for Argentina to confidently push this ridge. I think you might open yourselves up, to Chinese Taipei a little bit. So they're just going to hunker down, hold this angle. They've got the circle. They're saying, okay, it's phase 7. Let's just let phase 8 kind of force the issue, and we'll play from there.
That's probably what these teams are going to do. Yeah, I mean, in this position as well, no one wants to move. No one wants to fight first. No one wants to get third-partied. So they're just going to slow roll this one out, and that's okay. I think that's the right decision for all teams involved.
Yeah, it's another one of those spots for Emmy where he has to make sure that he plays his life, right? Like, don't give anything up for free over there. Keep Chinese Taipei pinned. Let the other two worry about Indonesia.
And we saw what happened when the anchor was lost in the last game. We saw when Pufa went down.
Exactly. Now Chinese Taipei trying to make something happen, trying to get ahead of the curve a little bit, but they're taking quite a bit of damage as they cross out. They're right into Emmy's sightlines. Not any knock just yet. Have to make a push forward. Leo, that is sick from Emmy. That is a nice headshot. These are some great peaks.
That was disgusting, filthy even as the nade now coming from DraftKings. This should be able to finish it off as long as it lands close enough. Which it almost does, but not quite. A second one coming through. The first aid does come out for Leo. Again, what a retirement tour it's been for him. He's had some incredible moments. Is it possible for him to have another?
I think that I wasn't sure if it was Leo throwing those mollies. I thought that grenade might have exploded one right as it was coming out of his hands. Looks like he's okay for now, though. Oop, now he's getting clipped by some damage. Now the blue zone grenade is there, and there's nothing he can do. The molly plus the blue zone gonna finish the job. Chinese Taipei, a nice finish though in this one, 3rd place.
Yeah, I love the discipline from Rebo though. He trusts his teammates to go down in the south, take care of that duo 2v2, while he makes sure that Indonesia does not gain ground while the team was dealing with another entity. So again, wonderful discipline, great stuff. Honestly, this whole game from Argentina has just been fantastic.
I agree. They're really looking nice. You know, rough first day, but since then they have really come to play. And gotta give some credit to these boys. They are really always a force at PNC. They always seem like they're in the mix. DraftKings trying to figure out just where the hell Indonesia is. They haven't seen them, and that's because there's a bit of a ridgeline there now. The bus
sind halt gerade noch am Scouten, wo die überhaupt sind. Die haben sich auch schön fein rausgehalten aus dem Fight.
With the ridges, Indonesia could kind of
mit 9
skirt this
Punkten im Moment
and try to angle for it, but it is going to be Argentina that are trying to take control of this, and they have control of that kind of, I forget what you call these things, these harvesters, crop things.
10 oder 6
irrigators.
Yes,
I think they're irrigators.
Something like that. I had somebody look it up for me once because I'm like, what the hell are these things? I don't know anything about farming, so trying to figure that out.
Shockingly, neither do I. But yeah, Argentina now with kind of their foot, you know, they're in the driver's seat currently.
It's going to be Emmy again, tasked with controlling the edge, making sure that Indonesia is contained, and if they're going to fight out, they're going to have to do it through some crossfires. Emergency cover being thrown out there by Indonesia, and then kind of trying to make a move off the back of that trick into the bus, and just a little bit of a reposition, seeing exactly what he's going to get out of those 2 triangles that land, and a little bit extra cover, better than nothing. Oh, here comes the C4.
Oh, C4 am Auto.
We've seen this work very well, actually. It seems to be Argentina with the C4 every single time. We saw the incredible play from DraftKings.
Nice idea.
But this one is going to go a bit too far.
Tried to guess the timing a little bit, but it rolled probably a little
tough.
bit. Yeah, it rolls a little bit further than you think sometimes. And that is going to be one of those situations. This Groza going to put the fear of God into Argentina a little bit.
Yeah, hold on a second. Groza in the hand of Trick. I mean, this is very losable if Argentina don't play this tight. They cannot give away any knocks. More importantly, they have to make sure if there is a knock, they're there for the trade. Otherwise, this is going to fall apart very quickly.
A little bit of util on both sides to use. Oh boy, going for the molly though is DraftKing. Trick right near that, but it actually doesn't connect onto him. Folding shield in front of him as well. He's going to let loose with the molly of his own. Rosa springs into action. Teddy already has one. Rybo on the other side. So now things looking a little bit dire here. Emmy on point. Emmy good, but Emmy versus Trick, or excuse me, DraftKing versus Trick right now. Up and over.
That
got a little too close for comfort if you're an Argentina fan, but man, they got it done in the end. And again, up to that point at the end, they played that game so well. They used their position to really create the control they wanted in their sector of the circle, and then they punished team after team. They got a healthy amount of kills, and in the end, they were able to clean it up. So well played to Argentina. That's a huge game for them.
Yeah, that really good zone control throughout the middle stages of that game to give themselves that extra, little bit of oomph going into the end. Really, really solid stuff. Indonesia playing that one kind of weird at the beginning, but it worked out.
It did work out, and they were on the north side of that circle for a while. They were the ones kind of taking shots over Brazil as they were trying to come down, as well as China. They did lose a couple members, but then they were able to get that duo in, and more importantly, they were able to get a Groza in the hands of one of their players, and that's how they were able to snag second place.
Yeah, I thought maybe that Groza was going to be a difference maker there for a second.
It almost was.
Oh boy. Beginning of this game, it was, again, USA, this has happened to them a couple times where they kind of reach out of Los Leones. Probably you think, oh yeah, we should be safe to make these early maneuvers, and then somebody shows up right behind them and just wipes them out. I mean, Germany did it early on in the event, and now
Denmark did it. I mean, really it wasn't Denmark, it was just Gustav. Gustav took all four of them down out of a great individual play. And yeah, that's not the game USA wants to have, because they've been kind of slowly climbing, right? They've been finding some consistency here or there. Their salvage games have been pretty decent overall, but yeah, it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle for sure, especially after that second game today.
And it's got to be frustrating. Like, as a team, you're just like, we're just trying to make a rotation. The game, like, what is going on here? Like, how do we keep finding ourselves in these bad situations?
Can't you just let us rotate in peace, please? Just one game?
Yeah, just once? No. Gustav had other plans. Great little fight here at the end.
It was, but that's, again, that goes to show, like, when these teams are going back after the day is over, regardless of how good or bad they did, they're watching the VODs and they're making those adjustments. So you see, we saw it in the first game. Teams are opting to rotate even earlier today than they did yesterday, and that could be a symptom of exactly that.
Yeah, seems to be that way. As we are through Miramar for PNC 2025, the map done for now. Still have some Tego, some Rondo. I know, you're making the cutest pouty face right now. But Tego, Rondo, Erangel still on the way. And we'll get a quick look at some leaderboards and some stats and things like that as we get ready to shift gears and shift maps in just a moment. Tons of great fans have shown up today. It's packed here at the Olympic Handball Stadium here in Seoul, South Korea. And a great stage that we have as well.
Yep, we are ready now. Show the top 4 teams of our last game. Match 14, it is going to be Argentina, no surprise, first place. 11 kills, 21 overall points for the team from Argentina. From South America, you also have Chinese Taipei fighting a healthy game for themselves. We saw them kind of fighting Vietnam in that shack, barely getting the best of them. They're going to walk away from that one with a good amount of kills as well. I believe 15 points.
That's not bad at all.
Oh,
dang. Brazil, I think, played that about as well as they could.
Yeah.
Given their spot, like they're like, we need kills. We've got the high ground. Let's wait. And then they're trying to come down the hill. Sparking goes down early, and then the rest of them are like, okay, well, let's just hang out here. Oh, look at these teams making a move. Let's get some kills.
Yeah, and they tried to punish the hell out of China, but they just couldn't, because it was, I think, Indonesia and Thailand initially just taking shots, getting them off of that angle. But man of the match, DraftKing, no surprise whatsoever, almost 1,000 damage and 5 kills, one of those being stolen. He got 4 knocks, but yeah, just great stuff. And he was remember, C4 and DraftKing, remember, that's a synonymous duo right there. And he's only going to get better once he once these players get more time with it.
He's got a 4 in his name, so I guess that's maybe
that's a really good point.
Yeah, maybe that's it. It's got no C though, so I don't know. As we look at the match leaderboard, like you said, 21 points for Argentina, 14 for Chinese Taipei. Hey, like what I'm seeing, a little bit of little bit of a comeback, maybe?
I mean, if Leo can have a great comeback and a last great hurrah day where they dig themselves out from last place, I think that'd be a great send-off
Richtig
for him.
strong Runde.
I truly would. I mean, a player that I've been
Sind die
asking
bestimmt
for
jetzt
so
ein
long.
bisschen
Love to see
geklemmt.
him just really pop off today like he did a bit yesterday. As we take a look at the total leaderboard here, see exactly where we stand. It is a gap that is continuing to widen. Vietnam now, I mean, what is that, 43 points ahead of China?
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, China was really the only team that can stop them, and they have not had good games so far. The Miramars have not been kind to China. Vietnam continues to just find those salvage points. I mean, look at it. You know what's crazy about this leaderboard? Look at the kill difference. Vietnam has 109 kills, which means that they have more points in just kills alone than every team from third down.
That's bonkers. That's absolutely bonkers. All right, guys, well, we are going to take a short break here at PNC. Don't go anywhere. Tego and Rondo are on the horizon. We'll be right back.
Das ist schon ein Huge Gap von Vietnam. Das wird super schwierig für China und Thailand irgendwas zu machen. Also in 4 Games.
Fueled by the same passion as esports athletes, Zowie continuously develops tailored products, empowering gamers to bring their best out. Today, we are launching the all-new XL2566X Plus, which uses the newly developed Fast TN panel and upgraded Diac 2 technology. The new monitor series continue to evolve, refining details to ensure players can perform their best consistently in games.
Dominate with speed. Octopus 8K HE. Scanning every key at the speed of light. Customize every key and setting to build a perfect keyboard for your play. Superior keystroke feel. Experience speed like never before. Octopus 8K HE. Azra.
original. Straight from the underground. Listen to the real funk. Hold on. You better don't stop me. Watch out the furious. Better be focused. Listen to the real funk.
And it goes a little something like this. It goes on and on and on and on. It goes on and on and on and on. It goes on and on and on and on.
혹시 모델업팅 좀
Original. Straight from the underground.
All right, we are back here at PNC 2025. We look forward to two new maps, Tego and Rondo. Will be where we go for games 3 and 4 on the day. And we are getting closer and closer to the end, to the inevitability, it feels like.
Yeah.
But
you know what? That's okay. Even if Vietnam runs away with it, we still have so much to play for from second all the way down to 8. So regardless, I mean, if they do run away with it, they've earned it, let's be honest. But yeah, there's still so much to play for as we head into Tego. And I want to see a northern circle. Most of the circles we saw on Tego throughout this event have all been in the south.
I agree. I love that northern part, like above the palace in those mountains.
Yeah,
and
army base. Oh,
yeah. The trees around there give you that extra level of kind of cover. So I'm with you. It's my favorite part of the map, actually.
Same.
So I would be okay with that if we get a circle up there. Have to wait and see, though. Plane path is up, and it's kind of western shifted here.
Yeah, leaving a lot to be desired on the east. You can see terminal is, I mean, it's definitely attainable. It's a small stretch. Same thing with the Buksan Sa, Ohyang, all those areas are going to be cut off. And that means if this circle does go to the east, the rotations there, and it's the fact that that circle is going to be empty is going to be a big alarm for a lot of these teams.
Yeah. That's a really good point. We see the team start to get out of the plane. But I wonder if we're going to see anything like we did at the beginning of the last one, you know, where a team got a little bit eager in the beginning. Brazil there reaching out to take down some players from Norway. They're pretty close to each other again.
The problem is I don't think Brazil's going to get guns and vehicles as fast as they did. I mean, that response time was pretty crazy from Brazil. You can see now Korea and Guman, they're just going for Go Doc.
My short king, Guman. Actually, it was really cute. I got to see him out in the halls before the event, and he was up there with his family.
Oh, nice.
Come to support him
awesome,
today,
dude.
So just said hi to them. And
that's so awesome.
You love to see it, right? The support that the families bring out, you know. Oh, it's a western circle. Yeah,
okay, I'll take this. I'll take this over a southern one.
A little hop-po. Action.
We've never seen a circle end in Hoppo, but we have seen circles end in that area just in the east of it, the compounds. In fact, look at the amount of res centers that there are in this area. That's kind of huge, and an opportunity for some of these teams, if it does western shift.
That's really interesting.
But we do have an interview with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sparky.
Jogar Nations Cup é sempre muito divertido e muito legal, porque estamos representando nossa bandeira, nosso país, em vez da nossa equipe. Nós da seleção brasileira somos jogadores com muita paixão, somos jogadores muito alegres, muito simpáticos, gostamos de falar com todo mundo e esperamos dar o melhor tipo de competição e alegria para esse campeonato e para todos vocês que estão assistindo. Eu vim de muito longe, vim de 22 horas de voo, então não posso voltar com as mãos vazias. Iremos voltar com o troféu.
Oh, and a jet ski. That's what he said.
Sparky is just one of my favorite players. I've really got to know him over, you know, the last couple of years, and just the ability that he has portrayed in game, but also the person he is out of game. You know, the way he's been able to support himself and his family now because of PUBG, I think is just an absolutely beautiful story.
And the rest of the community in Brazil.
Yeah.
He actually does a lot.
He does so much for them.
Yes, he is just a tremendous guy. You know, one of those players that I always love to see at events that I can't wait to give a hug and talk to because he's just such a great guy.
He's a spicy dude, though.
Yeah, he's got a fire in him. Is the thing.
Does.
He's such a competitor. And that's what I like. That's one of the things I like about him, though. I mean, that's why we do this job, right? Is because we love the competition.
Yeah.
We love to see that fire.
And he's let me tell you from experience, he's a massive troll outside of the game. Good people, though, good people. Australia in last place. That is not something I would have expected.
No. It was hard for me, like, if I were to power rank these teams coming into like, this lobby, I would have had a pretty tough time outside of, like, the top 3 or 4. I felt like there's a lot of potential on so many different teams. Yeah. So, like, but the Australia's the one where I'm just like, they should be middle of the pack at worst.
At worst, agreed. 100% agreed. They should be middle of the pack, like 9th, 10th, 11th, again, at the very worst. But, you know, it is what it is. This lobby is very difficult. These games have been very difficult. The circles have not been kind. And quite frankly, Australia has run into the wall that is the Philippines. So it's no surprise that they actually do find themselves struggling. But I would venture to guess that I don't think they're going to end in last place.
Okay. I don't think
I
so
still
either.
have faith. I still have faith.
I don't even know. I mean, there's so many good teams down in the bottom of that leaderboard right now that I'm just like, nobody deserves to be down there. You know what I mean? Like, they're all so
somebody
good.
has to be, though.
I know.
Someone has to eat it.
That's what makes me sad. But it is part of the game, and that's what makes it fun. Is every little thing matters in this game. Every position matters in the long run. For all these players, they want to do as much damage as they can here, get as high up on that leaderboard as possible. As we take a look at the replay.
See what happened here. Oh, okay, we got a.
Did he hit the wall? Did he?
An E pickup. Interesting. Where are we going with this?
Is it just a fake?
A bait.
Is he gonna get gunned down on the way out? This is long.
Yeah, this is a very long. Oh, okay. All right.
That is the most anticlimactic.
I thought
thing.
we were going somewhere. I mean,
too.
I was in constant suspense.
You know what? I imagine if Argentina then gets on that thing and they're like, you know what? Thanks, Delwyn.
You know what the storyline is, though? I think the storyline is that he got away.
He did.
He got away.
He's good at that.
He's slippery.
He is slippery.
So look at the kills of the top 5 leader in the final stage. Ace left #1. Who would have thought? Never heard of this guy before.
Yeah, no, never. You never expect him to do well. Yeah.
Little Goso again. This has been a very good event for him overall, especially with his mortars. Those things are like heat-seeking missiles. As he's now driving dangerously close here to the Philippines. A crate for USA. Many crates for USA.
Have we seen any trigonometry? Have we seen Tiggleton?
We have not seen
trigonometry?
any. We have not.
That's
I don't
sad.
even think he's touched a mortar this entire event.
Should we just go yell at him like?
Yeah, get on.
Next break, just get on there. I'm just
gonna
gonna walk
now.
down there and yeah, Tiggleton. We need a mortar. This is his map for mortars too,
It is
right?
actually. This is where we saw that mortar. It was up near Army Base, in fact, where he pinpointed a mortar straight onto. I'm trying to remember whose head it landed on. But my memory is failing me greatly as Korea now rotating in. And again, we're just taking it slow because all these teams have, the way the circle panned out and the way that the plane path was, all of these teams were able to safely get inside the circle, barring a few outliers. You do see Germany up there to the north, Taipei to the east, and then Brazil making their way to the south next to UK. But everyone else is set up, which means that even though this first circle is going to be a slow burn, the next 2 shifts are going to be absolute bloodbaths.
Yes. There's still a weird world where this like hard shifts north like 3 times in a row, and all of a sudden we're on, up by Palace or something like that. That is still very possible. I still would love to see a circle on that little island that's out there. Don't think it's possible in this circle because usually, like, if it's going to be one of the little islands, it has to be like
super
half
far.
water
Yeah.
to begin.
But that's a good point. There's still a significant amount of water in this one. Is raining is going to fight Beamy, so that's going to be a knock. Not able to confirm just yet. Dofi with the cover. This is all happening just on the edge of Palace.
Well, this was just kind of like a bit of a waiting game here between these 2 teams, and they're all looking at the ways to get over to the other side of the river if possible. So for Korea, they just caught Beamy out by this rock. Gyumin should be confirming the point. Ooh, he had to make that quick. He knew that he was going to get shot, so it is going to be Raining confirming the kill.
Okay, so at least a point, but now they got to get Raining out of the situation. Gyumin also eats a headshot. Oh, it's so close, but I think he's good. He's going to make it out of there. You can see his helmet got tapped.
Just barely, dude. Oh yeah, look at that. That is, he has almost no level 2 helmet left. That's a feels bad man, but maybe they can find him another one somewhere in the vicinity. In the meantime, it is Brex up in the air, our top gun here for PNC. I would love to see a stat.
Yeah, of who the best pilot is?
Yeah. Who's got the most airtime? Like, that'd be sick.
He's got his flight log. Oh, wait a second. Shrimsy says, get out of there. Get out of the sky, sir.
That's a Mark 14.
Yeah, it's a no-fly zone with that Mark 14 in the hands of Shrimsy.
Turning that thing into an AA gun. Jeez Louise, dude. That is scary. I mean, usually you can fly around in these things and you're relatively safe.
Yeah.
And you can like turn the, you can angle the aircraft so that the butt of it like blocks the bullets and stuff, but.
And worst case scenario in that situation, like, yeah, the glider might get quote unquote blown up, but they don't actually explode, right? You can safely land, so yeah. Generally you're safe up there, but if you eat 2 headshots or Shrimsy's got you with the Mark 14, you're falling to your death.
Operation Save Savior seems to be a success here. Leo, gotta be careful there, my friend. You are playing with fire. You opened yourself up, but they don't have much time here left to get this res on a Savior. They have to basically get behind this hill and then immediately stop, get out, and go for it. Yeah, just took too long.
Close,
just took too long.
I mean, they're probably gonna get a res off, so they have a station here to the east, just off outside the circle. They'll be okay. Dude, there's so many times where I see a fight, I'm like, oh man, that sucks. They only have 2. I'm like, wait a second, they can res. What am I thinking?
It's hard to get it in your system. Even though I play a ton and we use it all the time, well, I mean, it's being an esports.
We've been using it for a long time in pubs, right? Everyone has, but I love that it's an esports. I really, really do. Now, this shift is very, very devastating for the teams around the West, but more importantly, it's going to cause so many teams to bunch up in the center here and possibly on top of Vietnam, which is going to be more points for them potentially. In fact, one of those teams going towards them right now is going to be Poland.
So good news for Korea is you opened up the bridge space to make the first rotation ahead of Denmark by getting that kill on the Beamy. The bad news is Philippines was there. Now they actually aren't going to try to set up any kind of encirclement or try to take a big fight against Korea. They're actually coalescing into a 4-man force just to the east of the fishing camp.
Yeah, and Poland doing wise to just get the hell away from Vietnam, but I say that, and they're actually crushing on the north side. The other split. Look at the amount of control that Vietnam has on this. Himas is going to find a beautiful spray with that 4X. Not sure if he's going to be able to get the flush, but that's going to be the bells ringing for Vietnam to get aggressive and finish Poland.
Look at the angles they're taking into this fight. They have these extra little bits of cover. Delwyn actually finds a knock from afar with the Mark 12. Headshot lands. The best team in terms of headshots just continuing on their reign of terror. Grenades are out here. Poland scrambling to get to some level of safety, but Marsalek, he's a little bit ahead of the curve. He might be able to do some damage.
Yeah, he's sitting in the smoke.
Oh, no, it's Soul.
We lied. We're liars.
I feel bad. Sorry, Marsalek.
Yeah, that's going to be a rough one. Fex is going to find Malrush, so Chinese Taipei lose another member as Vietnam just casually cleaning up what's left of Poland. Is going to be Cappy and Pufa, and yeah, that nade probably going to be enough. Sure, man, just so clean. No time wasted whatsoever, not even a knock incurred, which means that USA, even if they wanted to, can't find anything off of this.
I'm listening to Vietnam fans. There's a couple flags up there.
So awesome, man.
Dude, that is unbelievable how good they did that. That was just flawless. So efficient.
Just flawless.
The way they come into those fights, using those little hills in front of those long, they're not warehouses.
It's like a green.
They're for farming, that's for sure.
Again, we're not farmers.
Chai Wei gets a knock, but he's immediately traded here. BL doing a good job to bail out sparking the IGL for Brazil this go around. And they've actually established their foothold. Nobody else on Chinese Taipei really in a position to challenge this.
No, and you can see UK kind of trying to maybe see what's going on over here. They have a good ridge they can play from, at least get some sightlines onto the fight between Brazil and Norway. You can see Beamy coming. Oh no.
Oh, is that Philippines who hit that shot?
Yeah, 10 trip.
Jeez, dude. That is a long-range shot, too. To hit a parachuting player, that's like 600 meters.
Yeah, that's no joke. James is going to find Chinese Taipei, just their problems continuing. It's just down to Savior. And on the edge in between two teams, It's not looking good for him. And, oh my goodness, 6 HP.
Gonna need to live up to his name. Try to get some extra points any way possible for Chinese Taipei, but he's in a horrible position. Norway knows he's there. Brazil probably knows, but now they're kind of dealing with the UK over to the west of their current position. Circle keeps a lot of water in, keeps the fishing camp in. Vietnam now, fairly spread out. If somebody can like suss out that situation, they have the opportunity to maybe crash and eliminate an individual player of Vietnam. It's just who would want to do that? Who would want to crash Vietnam right now?
Well, it's not going to be any of the teams currently in the circle. I say that Argentina is actually driving straight at Vietnam, so it looks like one of our 2 South American teams is going to be the first to try it. Tan Vu immediately pumping the brakes on that. Tan Vu is going to find Capitan.
Capitan drove right into that angle. Just maybe wasn't expecting that there'd still be a couple players over in those longhouses. Himas is going to be the one to secure that point. Germany making their move. Brazil trying to get the hell out of there, and it's actually Aches left. He's going to find Sparking. Posa ends up running him over and just driving out of there. They knew there was no hope of saving him. Biel
Die
kind of
Zone
stuck
da
there
immer
for a
enger. 15
second.
Teams noch am Leben.
It seems like Brazil has gotten away with using just one so far. DraftKings able to find the knock on a Sulawesi.
Okay, here we go. Argentina really firing up, and if they could get rid of Vietnam right here, right now, big confidence boost for them.
Germany
As
mit
Germany
einem
also
Knock.
have tentatively found a position just to the north of this, right next to USA. And speaking of which, Brazil driving right in between USA and Germany.
Oh man, they need to get in this shack, but the door's on the other side, and they're losing players trying to just get there. So out go some pieces of utility to maybe buy a little bit of extra space. The grenade gonna splash short. Alo finds another headshot with the Dragunov. DraftKings here, right next to Delwin, chasing him. Himas trying to bail him out, and it didn't even need it, really. Himas is already there. And now Argentina makes a move, and they're paying the price.
It's just so ridiculous how clean they are. Again, even after they took a knock, it's just devastating efficiency here. Vietnam will clean up Argentina, a second team now.
Punkte.
USA, meanwhile, trying to get active, but their position being so good, there's really not a lot they can do.
Unterwegs, aber das macht denen überhaupt nichts.
I think they are. I don't even think it's a question at this point.
Brieseln nur für die runter.
Well, you know what? I love seeing teams actually do this. I know a lot of people are like, it's boring. Like, the team's just running away with it. Are you kidding me? You get to see the best to ever do it. You know, at this point,
yeah.
I love
this
to see
event's
dominance.
history. Yeah, there's no question. And again, there's still so much to play for. It's not like only first place is what matters. Yes, it's the biggest prize. Yes, it's what everyone wants, but there's still a lot to be gained.
Knapp bei USA
Second all the way
reingeflogen.
down to 8th.
Exactly, right. Behind all that, there's still all kinds of awesome storylines to follow.
Keine
12
Treffer.
out of this one. This is going to be Rossiter Jr. Brex accidentally running over Zareth there. Not sure what happened in that situation. Looks like they were maybe trying to move some vehicles around. And Kiss gonna go down. It looks like they're gonna actually take some shots at the players that are trying to get there to save him. He's gonna be able to get there in time.
Yeah, we knew that shift was coming. We knew it was gonna go down south. That's why so many teams were willing to fight Vietnam in that central compound. I also want to point out how big that central compound is and how efficiently Vietnam have been able to hold it. But now, meanwhile, it's going to be Norway trying to find their way into the circle. They're going to be rotating right in between China and the Philippines. And guess what? They're looking to go right where every other team has failed, and that's right into the arms of Vietnam.
They may be able to get to at least an open house. It's just, is Vietnam going to allow them to settle in? Delwin saying, nope, we're not even going to let you get there. We've already bought this real estate. We don't want any squatters. 8C, though, good for one, at least on top of Delwin. Himas watching the angle from outside the door. Grenade going to ring out there. Oh, it bounces off the windowsill. Isn't going to get inside. That could have been devastating for Norway. A little bit of luck going their way. Tanvu going to shut the door. I think they're going to try to attempt the res. Himas, grenade in hand, sees 8C running. Oh, you're just dead, 8C.
Oh, my goodness! The angles are so perfect that Nade probably would have done it in case he missed the spray, but when have we ever seen Hamas miss a spray? Now putting the pressure onto the rest of Norway. Intens, the last one. And surely he's gonna get taken out.
Look at how well he knows those angles, too. He knows. He just saw you, you're done.
Come on! As clean as you like.
11 Kills schon. Die Runde geholt.
Just perfection. I mean, you're witnessing one of the best to ever play the game. And that right there was a show. That was an absolute show. Ming Ming gonna line up with the mortars. Pretty close range. Whoa, whoa, whoa! It ain't safe.
Not as safe as he would have liked. And China have been using mortars to great effect this entire event. That one's going to go in the open.
Und kein Hit.
Just a bit outside.
But man, forget going for 200 points in the next few. They might just get it in this game alone. 11 kills already.
Yeah. Well, what was I thinking? I should have just said this game. I
You fool!
Like, damn it. All right, BRDM for Denmark. Maybe this makes somebody feel confident enough that they could crash Vietnam and not die on the way
Panzers,
in.
though, they have to be careful. The Panzers, that's a free knock. And make it a double. CJ will get Kenner and Dolphy. And you know what? We really have not seen any BRDMs in the final stage.
There's too much. This is actually something I was thinking about. We'll get to that in a second. 10-trip watching Gustav drive in. Gustav trying to let loose with some utility to buy himself some extra time. Delwyn now with a mortar. He's going to dial some in potentially. Algenbots lands a decent amount of damage onto Gustav there with the frag. Is he going to be able to read that he's gotten that close? Are these actually in the direction of that fight? I don't know. Grenade around the corner. Gustav actually jumps to the other side of the fence. 10-trip. Didn't even need it. CJ was there on the cross to watch for it. Now Beamy all on his own.
Yeah, the mortar actually landed very close to the Philippines. On top of one of those tents. And you can see Australia coming in from the blue. They're still not in. So they're going to have to contend with a team like Germany or even Santastico or Korea up on the north side. And all these teams on the edge now, aside from the UK who have found a foothold into this, are going to struggle.
I do like that America got themselves into a nice position while Vietnam was fighting.
Yeah, very
on the other side of the road. Yeah. That's a really nice read from those boys. UK is going to square up against China. More mortars. Nobody falling to them just yet. It's actually Setsuna from Indonesia. A little bit of damage from afar. The Philippines hitting China in the back. They get a knock on a Ming Ming. Now Australia's going to try to make the move. 10-trip runs out of ammo, going for the reload. Actually, Algenbot's there to back him up a bit. Vard now letting loose with some frags. Are they going to connect there onto Eggs left? The real question on Lil Ghost. Whoa, that was dangerous.
Still very dangerous. Yeah, he's going to get picked out, plucked out. It's going to be the UK to find him as well with some help.
This is scary, scary, scary. China is just trying to find a way out of this position, but nobody's letting them. There's a knock. It's T-Bone from the UK. Finds Eggs left, so Xiao Wu and Ming Ming will be sitting in the back, just hoping they can get out of this some way, somehow. But the Blues about to be there. Their car can't be in the best of shape, I'm sure. Things going poorly for China in this one.
Well, and the other issue is that Thailand is starting to catch up. They only have 2 members up, but they've closed the gap to 16 points. China on the back foot, Ming Ming still trying to fight. And Xiao Wu with a huge opportunity there if he can find someone with that Panzerfaust, but Ming Ming's gonna fall to CJ. And the Philippines have just been on a tear this game. 8 kills, still 4 alive, although one of those is a knock in 10-trip.
I like this from the Philippines. There's already a battle happening over here. You got a knock into it. Oh, nice name from Xiao Wu though. The Xiao Wu is in the blue. Not sure if he's going to have enough time to get that first aid off. It's going to be real close. Looks like he just does. That's really good news for him. See if he can find some more damage, find some more kills. Backs up on the rock. Looking to eliminate the Philippines. The UK held this really nicely.
Yeah, and with a great opportunity here to clean up this edge and get some more kills. The problem is they're going to be right in front of Vietnam once they do finish, but if they're going to finish in this area, they need to make sure they get all the kills to compensate for what may wait for them as they head into the circle. Also, Indonesia with such a wide split, they really have been uncontested, and there really aren't many angles to punish them, so they actually might be looking to punish the UK here, as now we are moving back over to Korea.
Santastico able to get up on top of the box to avoid the flames. Salute did get knocked on the way through. Zareth has the link, so Guman goes down. This opens the door here for Santastico to do some damage. Here comes some blue grenades as well. All of a sudden, Korea's in trouble. Reigning the only one alive. He has to escape the blue zone. It's actually Mika's blue zone grenade that's going to keep him alive. Oh, that was close.
That may actually give them an opportunity to recover. That second blue zone grenade was not close enough. He gets some smokes down. This is a real shot for Korea. The problem is they're still on the back foot. They have to push into Germany.
Nobody's going to put any pressure on Germany, so Germany can just keep their eyes downhill. Simoy steps up, takes
Der 4. Punkt für Germany. Oh no,
backs
what's
down.
happened?
Michael going to claim the last player of the Philippines, CJ, 7th place for the Filipinos. And the UK holding on, but they've got a challenger behind them. Oh, look at all this! Look at all this level 3 gear that Germany has.
Yeah, I mean they are. I mean, just what else do they need at this point?
They have all my favorite guns.
Yeah, they have everybody's favorite guns. As again, Korea are going to have to push into them. And it looks like here comes the push from the UK. This is pretty much the only play they got. So they just have to see if they can make it work. And the only saving grace is there's only 3 of Vietnam, but I don't think that matters because now there's only 2 of the UK.
Oh, that grenade on the money for Himas. Trick as well, trying to see if he can steal some of those points. It's too late. Vietnam stands tall. Korea making their move now.
Germany
they do lose a player on the way in. It's Chris. Finds Salute. If that's a frag, they're in trouble. It just split the difference between Yumin and the knocked player in Salute. But now we're ready to rock and roll again. Our Germany let loose there. He has found some decent damage so far. Salute about to bleed out, and he does. Oh my goodness, a Panzer II.
Xerath mit der Panzerfaust.
An opportunity here. And that's going to be a night. Oh no!
Soul
oh no, he walked in front of Soul and it was a self-knock, a team knock. And that's going to slow things down for
the Deutschen machen jetzt mal richtig Druck, das gefällt mir richtig gut.
I mean, you know, you just think you can cross, you got to make a move because you're getting hit from another angle and you're worried about it. That's okay. But Germany, I think they have a real good chance to get deeper into this game and take Korea out. Just spraying down, trying to find players, but Seoul at least has the comfort of this folding cover.
I mean, they're allowing Korea to recover, though, and they have the man advantage. I mean, it was going to be down to a 4-on-2.
Ich hätte mir schon gewünscht, dass sie da jetzt mal richtig reinpushen und die weghauen, aber so wird es natürlich gar nichts.
Now a lot of smokes are there, and that's buying time for Korea to get these rests. Oh, sure, give them more level 3 gear, just what they need. Love to see that. This is so funny, though.
Okay, bro.
I keyed.
Just win harder.
Yeah, why not?
And, you know, there was maybe an opportunity for Indonesia to kind of pounce on Vietnam because they were down to just 1 at that point after the fight with UK, but it didn't come. And now this is, I mean, this is the issue for the USA. No. They have had the best position since they moved into this position. They backfilled on a great play in order to take advantage of the fight that happened between Vietnam earlier and one of the multiple teams that crashed them, but there's been no angles for them to get any kills. I mean, they're coming into this with only 3.
Here's my question, do you try to maintain that 2-2 split, komplett hops genommen, denke ich. Korea ist noch direkt close mit 3 Leuten. Vietnam hat jetzt ein Auge auf die. Und USA kann natürlich auch noch auf die drauf schießen. Also, Himas holt sich jetzt High Ground.
Germany has to fight Korea.
Yeah, there's no punish for that knock, so they'll be okay.
Big explosion there. Vehicle goes up in flames. Somehow Soul finds a grenade. I don't know how he does it.
Rex ist am Pushen.
Damage being returned.
Wird aber von jemand anders unter Beschuss genommen. Xerath ist genockt.
Molly comes in just
Molly
a bit too far there for them. Germany getting harassed from Himas on the side. He's happy to just keep farming the ADR. Soul up and over, can't win the battle.
Und Korea wird hier
but look at the damage
dem Spiel genommen von Germany.
Because of the angles that Vietnam
aber nur noch leider 2
übrig.
Und da ist Mika genockt.
It's going to be Tanvu to find another knock on the Mika.
8 kills for Himas, 4 for Tanvu, 4
for
16 kills, dude, come on! They're actually going to hit 200 points this game.
Everybody else is just like, okay, we're done fighting Vietnam. We got to fight each other. They're winning this thing. Let's see if we can do some more damage. It's going to be Halo. Finds another nice Dragunov headshot. He's been popping.
Just executed breaks. It's now the USA with a monumental task to hold off not only Vietnam, but you can see the split. And I love the positioning from Samoy, getting that anchor just in case one of the members of USA try to flex out of their building and get a different angle onto the fight with Indonesia. He's there to kind of stuff them.
That's a really nice angle, yeah. That's cool. Another phase to go, though. It's phase 7. Gonna keep the rest of these players and teams inside of itself. Now we just wait to see how much of a difference phase 8 will make, where that center dot ends up lying. Vietnam, last couple of smokes there for
that's huge. That's nice. And he is going to get cut out of this circle. So if he doesn't have a vehicle to do so, he's going to be stuck on the run. And now here comes Vietnam. Oh, the Panzer barely misses. And they're going all the way on a rapid Trick is gonna find Taboo. That's gonna be a flush. Kickstart's gonna find him ass. Delwin will fall to Tweety. And finally, the raid boss of the lobby will fall in
16
third.
Kills geholt, 17
They just said,
tatsächlich.
okay, we got
Plus
one guy alive up there. Let's
dritter
just see if
Platz.
we get at least one more point. And, you know, crashing one of these compounds is going to be way harder. At least get the guaranteed points, but they were thwarted in their effort. Now we get a sick 4v4.
Yeah, this sets up a very sick 4v4. I agree 100%.
Loser gegen
Circle Center is going to be
Indonesia.
like right outside of the compounds. Nobody's really got like
gespannt,
a
wer
fantastic
jetzt
position on
Yeah,
it.
it's
dieses
about
Match
as
mit nach Hause nehmen wird.
It's about as even as you're
Und
going
der
to get
spannendste
from the
Teil
two
von
teams.
allen.
It's really going to come down to
2
Samoy for me. What is he going to be able to do with that
1
angle?
gegen 1
And is
als
he actually
Team.
going to have any impact? Because realistically, if USA wants to, they know he's there. They can just fight on the east side of this and cut off all the angles that he would have.
Ah, all right. I worry about Simoy eventually. They might just blow up his car.
Yeah.
Even if they don't, it's going to take an insane amount of smokes just to get out of there.
Well, he fortunately only lost
Man muss
one
aber
tire.
leider
We saw
trotzdem dazu
Vietnam
sagen,
shoot.
diese
Oh, he's
beiden
taking
Teams
shots though
sind
from that
im
Dragon.
Mittelfeld.
And now his vehicle's in the
Also
blue.
wird das generell auch ziemlich schwer
So
werden.
he might just be a given up frag, a given up life.
Top-Teams in diesem Turnier zu werden.
He's got no smokes. He has 3 frags. That's like the worst feeling ever when you just know you're not going to really be able to put him in good use.
And his team, I mean, even if his team wanted to throw utility for him, he's just too far. He's just going to deny.
That's fair. That's completely fair, especially given
ist genockt worden und
the
wird
leaderboard
auch
situation.
nicht
You can see
reasonable
USA on
sein.
83, Indonesia on
ich.
79.
Right behind him.
Totally makes sense there, but 384, doable.
Ja, da ist er
Curdy,
raus.
Curdy.
Die Zone hat ihn
Just taking a
gekillt.
peek, trying to get some info, trying to gather the troops and make their move.
4
Just gonna
gegen
be doing a little
3
jump peeking along the fence line.
That's a weird center
ist
circle because it
Final
literally
Zone,
is on the fence line paper.
Phase
So
9.
it's going to be. Yeah, losing Samoy is just really unfortunate because now they have to go into this in a 4-on-3.
Hier gibt's einen
It's almost about who's like gonna get closer,
wird aber
to,
erst
like,
mal
the edge of a
eingesmoked, damit er
fence,
nicht mehr
maybe a little bit
schießen
sooner.
kann.
But you can see that, you know, Kurt is just keeping
Die
an eye out.
Zone ist
You can
langsam
see
am
there,
Schließen.
maybe those barrels look pretty nice. I mean, that might be like a slight advantage to the USA potentially, but it's
Indonesia
not
mit einer
much.
Panzerfaust
and
noch
now
dabei.
looking at Indonesia, there is a Panzer on the back of one of their players. I do
Panzer.
love the high ground that they have, and I also love the fact that
Es
I
ist
love
der
even more
gute alte
that they had
Panzerfaust.
smoked the roofs on the opposite side to make sure that
Mit
if
Panzer.
Indonesia, which they did have a player up there, wanted to use those angles on the
Und
high
der
ground, they didn't really
Bazooka,
have
das
anything
ist
to work
eine
with.
Panzerfaust.
This is actually looking pretty decent for the USA if they can keep these players on the roof alive and doing damage. It's going to be really tough for Indonesia to get out. There's only one more smoke left in the bag for them. 1 stun, and then they have no frags, no mollies. Whereas, look at the USA, they have 12 stuns. They have 6 frags.
Yeah.
This should be USA's game.
It should be, and I really like that outside position. You see Kurt
Granaten
kind of
kommen.
holding, but hold on a second. Trick is going to find Shrimzy.
Granatennagel.
Brings us down to a 3-on-3. They now all that utility though, and
Das
Brady Kurt is
sind
going to go
2
down.
Gedankenauslöser.
This is falling apart for the USA.
Oha.
Trick or treat. Well, right now, looks like it's going to be a treat for Indonesia. Kickstart going to try to hold the front line there. Alo lets loose with
Shrimzy
his
wurde
last frag
instant
grenade. Doesn't connect.
gerettet.
Trick though.
3 gegen 3.
Panzer available. Thinking about it, pushing forward. This could be tricky. He knows Alo's up on that roof. He's looking for the opportunity to just barrel stuff him. Switches back over. Gets close without seeing anything. Now here come those stuns. Alo drops down behind him. Gets the kill. Kick trying to keep Teddy pinned behind the folding cover. Setsuna around the side, but Alo turns at the wrong moment.
Yeah, but Sesuna's taking so much blue damage, and now he's slipping in with less than half health, and there's a Panzer now on the side of the USA. It's going to be Bernie Curdy. He's going to fire it. He's going to get rid of T-Day, and now it is a 2-on-2, but now
Die Amis auch mit 2 Panzerfäuste holen sich dieses Game.
Man, was it sketchy at the end.
That got real scary for the USA at the end. That was a nice play there by Trick. Just went out to that tree, found the 2K.
Yeah, it was, but it was Alo that was able to slow things down for them. He dropped down from the roof. I feel like a lot of players would have just stayed up there and taken the duel, but no, he came out and he surprised and ultimately helped them win that game, but man, it was not clean.
No, I mean, you look at every metric you have available to you in that situation, you're like, frags, stuns, smokes, it's all in the USA's favor. They should be okay, but some good shooting that'll be a difference maker every time.
Also, huge shout out to the USA cheering section, and a huge shout out to Kat Conti. Her signs have been hilarious. They've been very well drawn, and they've been awesome.
Imzy, indeed. He was the last one to get that final Panzer, I believe, right?
I believe it was.
Yeah,
I believe it was. Now,
there's going to be a lot of highlights for this one.
This was a crazy fun game, as we can see now.
Look at these sprays, man. And Vietnam, what do you do?
The highlights.
They're just so rock solid. I mean, they're just immovable. They take brilliant fights. They're so good at positioning. Obviously, their mechanics are outrageous. What are you going to do? I mean, Delwyn.
I mean, what are you going to do? And so we saw so much as well. How many different teams were able to crash? And Vietnam was able to not only clean them up, but just clean them up so cleanly.
I'm trying to think. Argentina.
Brazil at some point. Germany got picked apart from distance.
Yep.
UK. They kind of crippled China.
Yeah. They had,
I think, 17, 18 kills at the end of that game.
Just bonkers, dude. Just absolutely bonkers. Rex there. And this was okay for Germany, but this fight took forever. Like, they just couldn't finish the fight against Korea.
Yeah, they couldn't finish it in a relatively good time. And then again, that's Korea, right? Korea struggled in this game. They had that northern wrap. They had to deal with Germany, and then ultimately it was just too much pressure. And then we saw that jumping Panzer, and it was USA to take the dub.
Love to see it though. At least the USA, you know, giving us a little bit of a show on our final day. We wanted to see them maybe be a little bit more competitive in this one for sure, given especially, you know, previous results at PNC, but it hasn't been their best day.
No, it hasn't been their best day at all. But again, our next map we're heading into is going to be Rondo, and so that should be a fun one.
I love Rondo for the most part. There's a few parts of the map I'm not a big fan of, but mostly.
For me, it depends on where we go on Rondo, right? And I mean, Test Track is just so overplayed. You've seen that fight. Plus, the terrain there isn't super interesting, but man, down to the south, we have some amazing areas. Up in the north, we rarely get to see that quote-unquote Miramar-esque version of Rondo, but there's been some circles that have been there, been awesome. But again, 17 freaking kills. And they're at 100, I believe, at 90 points. USA did get 8 points, so that's 18 total for them moving forward. Indonesia as well with a solid game. And Germany was picking up kills at the detriment of Korea, but even still, a good game for them. But yeah, Rondo is going to be interesting just based on how much landmass there really is for these teams to play with, right? We saw some nonsense in Geneva City with Norway and the Philippines when they were trying to get 10 trip up, but yeah, I'm just curious where we're going to go for the final Rondo.
Yeah, me too. I'd love to see one, up in that northern area or northeastern area. I think I've only ever casted like 1 or 2 that have actually ended in the desert.
Like 1, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty rare. Man of the match is going to be Kickstart with 2 kills there. A lot of damage though. Just not able to convert all of that into knocks and kills.
Yeah, but they were able to win the game, and that's a big boost for them as they're fighting for that top 5 spot.
Yeah, no, I mean, you need to keep going. Everybody's going to be looking at leaderboard, but you've been saying so much to fight for underneath all of that. As 22 points in a game that you don't win.
Well, they didn't even get second or third. they got 4th that game, but yeah. Or no, they got 5th place, but USA getting 18. You have Indonesia with 12. Germany consistently getting point after point. The Philippines, man, the Philippines has been my favorite part as far as like my favorite surprise.
Me too. I'm so happy that they're playing well. I'm just so happy that they got an opportunity. I think this region has had really good players for a long time.
Vietnam mit 190 Punkten.
Look at a PNC and
noch 2 Games
werden
hundertprozentig
dieses Spiel, dieses Turnier mit nach Hause nehmen. Das wird nicht mehr machbar sein, denke ich. Würde ich jetzt mal so meine Hand ins Feuer legen. Für China und Thailand Vietnam einzuholen.
So Indonesia up to 4th
Rein
place is only separated by 21 points, and that is very doable, especially because of how many points are being sponged up by Vietnam. As we head into Toronto, a huge opportunity, a lot of moving to be done in this top 9, I would say, of this match as we head into the final rondo of PNC 2025.
50 Punkte holen kann. Wir haben ja gerade die Top-Spieler gesehen mit Vietnam, die 22 Punkte geholt haben in einem Game. Und das machen die anderen Teams nicht gerade mal so aus der Hand.
Can they get ahead of everybody else? How much higher can they climb? That's what I'm here about now. I want to see them just 16 kills, 15 kills every game the rest of the way. I just want to see them just dominate.
Yeah.
Just dominate. I mean, they're going to by far have the highest average points per game, and not just because of the recall system and the extra points that are going to be, you know, put into the pool anyway. No, they are blowing everything out of the water.
I don't even think they've really abused that many extra kills off of a recall system, right? It's just come down to their immaculate play, their amazing fundamentals, their awareness. The IGLing from Delwyn has been just out of this world stellar. I mean, they've just been an unstoppable force. And you know what? I'm fine with them dominating like this. If they want to continue having games like this and show the world how damn good they are, I'm here for it.
I'm all about it.
Aber dennoch wird es super schwer sein für die anderen Teams.
Be there for the ride, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I'm here for. I wouldn't mind seeing China step up here in the last couple of games as well. Really solidify their second place finish.
Yeah, at the same time, I'm excited to see if China gets challenged. I'm excited to see what third place can do. I mean, again, it is getting very tight, and China have not had the best of day at all. So that means that they're going to have a lot more pressure. Not really to win at this point, but to make sure they maintain second place. And this is a sick circle, that's what I'm talking about.
Und die Zone liegt super krass für die südlichen Teams, die ganz spät rausgesprungen sind.
This should be a really fun one.
Curious about the USA. The area around Hongshan is like pretty open, actually.
It is.
So you kind of gotta like, if you're gonna gamble on it, you gotta like pick a side. It's really kind of weird. Like, if you guess correctly, you're in a phenomenal position. You're going to crush.
If you guess incorrectly, that's going to be a really disappointing game. And right now, I mean, they're split, they're looting. But yeah, I imagine Hongshan is going to be where they want to end up. You can also see to their west, it's going to be the Philippines, Germany. Also, actually, within the circle, we've seen them generally, they're usually the ones that rotate the furthest every game to the circle. They have no qualms at all with taking their time and coming in late. In fact, it's what they do well. It's what works for them. But right now, they're also just right in this circle already. And also, for how much landmass there is, it's kind of unlucky how much of the south is cut off, because that's just all unplayable area.
Yeah, you're right. I'm also looking at Tentrip drifting closer to Germany players.
Yep.
You got to be wondering, like, oh, can we even get in a glider this game? Like, not only is the circle not necessarily like the best for it, but with how close the Philippines are, you got to be thinking, do we risk it?
It's dangerous. Yeah, it's dangerous. I mean, he's not even just drifting. He is just straight up moving in that direction now, getting danger close to them. As Argentina they've had a good day, man. They've been really impressing me today. Just South America in general. Every time we come out to PNC over the last couple of years, since we've kind of merged the Americas, they've been practicing in our region, they've been learning, they've been leveling up. I think they take the game very seriously. They have had wonderful results here at PNC year after year.
Yeah, they're top 8 again. And, credit to Capitan, his first time as an IGL, first time as a player. He's coached before, but now he gets the opportunity to be in the server. And, again, rough first day, fine. They recover, and they do great. And there it is, there it is, there it is.
I hate when we're right, but it comes at the cost of other players' lives.
Yeah. I know what you mean. But he's another one of those players that just has that instinct. He knows how to go out and get that first kill. And even if he doesn't necessarily get it cleanly and the other team can respond, you saw this on day one, like when Poland, he took him on 1v3.
Yeah, no, Tentrip, again, my favorite part about PNC, besides seeing incredible play from teams like Vietnam, kind of just shutting it out and really just proving how good they are, is just, and we talked about this at the beginning of the show, watching players that are lesser known from regions that may be lesser known really shine, right? We saw it with France in the survivals, what they're capable of. Inexperience got the better of them, but now we're seeing it with Tentrip, we've seen it with TD. I mean, just so many good players from these countries that don't really get a lot of shine, but now they absolutely will, because they are on the map. Everyone's eyeballs are on them, and they see how damn good these players really are.
Yep. Right there with you. Argentina just fanning out a little bit to the west. And you have Korea in an emergency pickup already, right out of stadium early. where, oh, where are they going to drop? Because if you go into Hongshan, you're going to have problems.
Yeah, problems indeed. China also rotating now into the circle on the northeast side. They're going to be going tentatively right next to Australia, who are currently sitting in a less than desirable spot, but every game is an opportunity for them to at least climb 1 or 2 positions if they can finish strong.
There's nothing here for Korea. Chinese Taipei is fanned out on the very southern edge of the map. I don't know where in the world they're planning on going. Meanwhile, Brazil looking to take an edge of Hongshan, seemingly based on what we could see with their waypoint pings. Trying to go a little bit to the east of it and scoot in. There are a few things you can do, but this is problematic for Korea. Oh boy. Mao Rush had an opportunity, could not get the bullets to go where he wanted them to. Seoul, though, aware of his position. Here come the reinforcements.
This is a big fight here for Korea if they can close this one out. Leo, though, might stop that one right where it started. Raining is going to get flushed out. 3 members now and a trade almost there. Nope, it is there. Seoul's going to find the nade onto Leo. And so a 3v3 now. Seoul, though, is going to get found. It's going to be Chai Wei. And this is not looking good for Korea.
No, it is going to be really tough to recover from this, potentially. Yumi's gonna have to go absolutely huge.
That is devastating. Dude, I'm pissed for him.
Everything blocks bullets in this game except for windows.
That's a tilt. I am genuinely upset for him. That was actually a beautiful spray. He probably would have got that knock too.
It do be like that sometimes.
Yeah, Salute now the last one alive.
And now you look to survive as Salute and see if you can somehow pull off a res. That's the only option here left for him. Can't really do much else. Great reactions by Chinese Taipei. Never really looked that bothered in that fight.
No, I mean, aside from that first knock, they recovered beautifully. And so it's going to be Salute and Korea that are sent running. And I imagine because of the position, because Circle's still in, Salute's not going to be able to get those chips. He's not going to be able to go for a res. In fact, we didn't even really take a chance to look at the res stations that are available in the Circle. I don't even think there are any in the south. Like, I mean, where they're playing in the south.
Exactly. There's like one way over to the west, but that's pretty far away. Is there? There's not one in Tinlong Garden, is there? I don't think so.
There might be, but I can't see at this point. Yeah, I don't know.
Not easy, regardless.
Not a lot of options, and that goes, I mean, for Chinese Taipei, they still need to res their member as well, if I'm not mistaken. No, they actually got him. He got knocked, that's right. Leo got knocked, they got him up. So they don't have to deal with that. And most of the teams now have opted, dude, what is this in Jadena City? What is going on?
Oh my God, what in the world? Is Indonesia like just waiting? Are they just gonna let being nice guys and let everybody drive by? Because UK's already kind of through. Yeah, no, they're all the way through.
They're all the way through. It's just Norway now that have to squeeze past, and they've already let UK through, so curious if they're going to strike. And the east side of this circle, for all intents and purposes, is wide open for both Norway and UK as long as they get there.
Yeah. If this starts shifting away from the water sooner rather than later, like, there's still a bunch of open real estate over there. So
especially in the northeast.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. We are getting the fight inside of Jadena City. Asking you shall receive. Oh my God. That he just got out of the car, man. Leave him alone.
Give him a chance.
Newhouse is just not giving anybody a chance. This is crazy, dude.
Okay, recoverable though from Brazil. We have seen their resilience. We've seen them take the fight before to Vietnam and finding a moderate level of success before getting third-partied. So it's possible, but Vietnam currently with 4 strong. Imas is about to heal, and it's Brazil with 1 member down that have to deal with this on the back foot.
Yeah, BL, that's a great angle.
Oh, he needed that so bad. He needed that knock.
Ooh. Telwyn, just a sliver of HP left. Gets out, but now you're nervous. Now you're nervous for Brazil because you gave him a chance.
Right. And that one trade possibility just barely didn't get him. Solozzi taking damage from somewhere, though, off in the distance. I think it might be the UK.
Okay. Well, Brazil might be in a bit of a stalemate. Oh, sparking. Thinking about
or Australia.
Thinking about something.
Someone was third-partying that fight. Got some damage onto them.
I think you're right. I think it was us. Oh, bye-bye.
Oh, man, and that's a rough one for Korea.
He was trying to get over that res station. over in the city on the bank of the river.
Yeah.
Could not get there, though. That is a long journey over to Rinjiang.
Not quite. Let's see what this circle is going. Oh my, what? What is that shift?
This is gonna end down by that mountain that Jai Wei is on. I've never seen one this far down.
I've never seen one this far south. And the other thing, Paper, is there's still a significant amount of water in this.
I saw one end by the mountains by Rinjiang once, but that's it. That's the furthest south I've ever seen one. As the Philippines are just harassing Germany. Poland has scooched by that. Lil Ghost got up into an emergency pickup, is looking for info while the other 3 members have an open compound over on the east. But yeah, dude, this is bizarre. I don't know if I've ever even seen this part of the map. I might have driven through it once.
I don't think I've ever traveled this far down, like that far below Tin Long is kind of crazy. UK fighting a battle as we move back to Vietnam. And okay, dude, Sololzi is gonna almost single-handedly take out Brazil.
He do with a micro Uzi? Is that what I saw in his hands there? Like just styling on him, dude. They are crazy good. Poland actually did get a knock over Denmark, trying to take down Chai Wei, and they will. He went for the vehicle, and he did not get very far. Just must have not known that Denmark was there, despite him having kind of some high ground and stuff, but so be it. There's the UK.
Yeah, and you can see all these teams trying to jog for position, but it's just there's really not that much space to play. With so much land currently being cut out by that river on the south, but you can see also, I really like the way that the Philippines is trying to hold out Germany. That setup is really strong. They didn't just get a knock. But the main issue is going to be Poland. Having to fight and share that space with Poland is a real issue, and this could actually help Germany out.
No way, James. He's up in a glider? No way. Come on.
Oh, headshot and a body shot. Clean 1-2. What an animal.
That is hard to do. Marsalek has found weakness. So all of a sudden this fight is 3 ways. The Philippines, Poland, and Germany. Pufa, the only one alive for Poland. Marsalek only knocked, but hasn't been flushed. Getting shot in the back now. It's actually Denmark from afar. And you can see Pufa looking at him like, come on, guys. Like, there's already 3 teams here. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Is it not enough by myself?
Aren't we from the same region? Like, come on.
Oh, I don't think they care right now.
No, they do not. They absolutely do not.
Denmark, though, with probably arguably the best position in the map. You can see Flood trying to drive his way towards that massive hill that they do currently claim. There's even a compound up there for them, which is wonderful. You can see USA now pushing the split of China. They're going to find Little Ghost, and that's going to be the first part of this punish. As long as they can get rid of the second part, they can then they might even push towards. Actually, they don't even need to push. They'd have so much control, but what a beautiful pickup here. He gets him in the car, and he's going to consolidate. Again, Ixleft, not just the fragger, also very intelligent and great decision-making there. There's no reason to stay or try to fight. He's just going to get him in the vehicle, and they're going to recover. China will be fine.
Yeah, that's really nice timing there by Ixleft. Some damage sent out, but we're still just going more south, by the way. It's only phase 3.
I'm honestly not very familiar with this area in between Chinese Taipei and China. I don't know how much cover is there. I don't think we've ever been down here before.
I've played a lot of games on this map. I have no idea. I've never been down here. Again, might have driven through it once, but
I don't even think any of the pub games I've played have gone this crazy far south.
This
is crazy, but we asked for it, and fortunately, we've been given the opportunity to see what's going on down here. Philippines with just 2.
I should just run over and ask the Korean caster Jisoo Boy, be like, I know you've seen this part of the map because I know you're just an absolute animal when it comes to like studying the maps. I know you know what's going on down here. Give me the secret sauce.
Give me the deets. I saw you look over towards him too.
I think you might have heard me say his name.
Jisoo, hey, Jisoo. What's it like down there?
He's busy. All right.
He's busy. He is busy. Indonesia coming in with 4 strong here. This is going to be a parachute all the way down to the south.
It's Tinlong Garden, so actually okay. That's actually not that bad. Australia trying to find some safety. They do get there. Tiggleton rolls up. he's okay, I think. So Australia, they're stuck a little bit, though, in that shack. How are they going to get out of there with America just barreling down on top of them? Tiggleton's trying to find safety in his coop. He's gotten underneath Denmark. Denmark's position has to be really good here.
It's so strong. They have so much vision on what's going on. As we go back to this nade and this fight between basically Solozzi and Brazil. And yeah, it was Mike Ruzi.
Again, style points. Like, now you got to get like a kill with every type of gun in the game, right? Like, now you need to go get that bolt action kill. Like, oh, whoa, Tiggleton, that was pretty good. Unfortunately, Tanvu was there. The rest of Vietnam shows up and just smushes him. That was a nice spray, but he was all alone.
Yeah, I think he was trying to secure a forward position for his team before they ended up coming with him, just in case something crazy happened. And nothing crazy happened, just Vietnam happened to roll through and get rid of him. I'm not even sure that he got the point for that. I think they were able to recover. No, actually, Vietnam's down one, so he at least got the point for that.
That's a field madman. I mean, I'm sure a lot of these players are trying to work out what's actually playable in this part of the circle as well. There's a lot of util coming through. Argentina surrounding the USA. Grenades are good. Alo already on his knees. Purdy looking to go for a heal. Shrimzy's going to try to play up close and personal. Where is Kickstart in all of this? He's a little bit fanned out to the side, holding the flank. So Rez being stuck. Shrimzy should be able to lift his teammate up.
Hast du gedampft? Nein.
And look at
just go more south. Just
der Kreis warmte.
Yeah, okay.
It had to. I was rooting for it, though. I was rooting for you. So we can see Germany actually just done a great job to really stay out of, I mean, again, this is what they do, but they've kind of stayed out of the nonsense scuffles that we see early game. They were on the other side of the bridge. They saw the Philippines. They actually put some damage onto the Philippines without getting too involved. Now, their downside is that they don't have any kills currently, but there's still plenty to get as long as they find a good position, which they have. Mika has found a nice forward operating base, if you will, for them, and they're actually just going to collapse back on Calby. They're going to get the points. Meanwhile, USA got out of that area with Argentina, but they're kind of driving back into them.
There you go. There's nothing open over there. So they just turn around and fight in Argentina instead. They're like, let's get the points
nicht, dass das nur zwei sind, aber da ist er noch und raus aus dem Game.
Where in the world is the last player of the Philippines?
Punkt geholt.
I can't see him on the current map. That's
nur noch eine
that's all I got.
Game.
USA, though, holding on, getting a little bit of help now against Argentina. Trick shows up, immediately puts DraftKing down. Can't get the flush just yet. Capitan rolling in, so he's got to turn his attention that direction. Oh, Capitan with the AK puts Teddy down. USA continues this fight here uphill.
Yeah, they want to clean this up as quickly as possible, but more importantly, they want to clean this up to get all these points. They have 0 kills. They have not been able to find anything. Again, this is another.
Die ersten Mörser-Attacken
with the mortars,
kommen jetzt.
where are those going?
Wo gehen die hin?
Should be going USA's direction, yeah?
I would imagine so. I did hear it fall, but a bit short.
China?
And still, USA have not been able to clean up this fight. In fact, look at this rotation.
He got another mortar.
Oh my goodness, triangulating over here.
All right, the USA would love to just clean up this fight here on the edge and get the hell out. But I don't know if they're going to be afforded the opportunity. He hits Tanvu?
He does.
They're out by that road where they got tigged.
I see, that's where they're aiming these mortars. Okay, and that's going to be another one. As Simoy now in that forward position, Trick shredding USA. Finally, the last member of the Philippines will fall. But USA in a lot of trouble. It's just down to Alo and Kickstart.
Yeah, it's Denmark. From that high ground, can actually see a bit into this fight as well. So USA trying to scoop up whatever points they could. Indonesia did a nice job flanking out Teddy and Trick away from Simoy to buy him time to get that rotation through, to get to safety away from the rest of the team. Man, oh man, those borders are very, very close. Vietnam clinging to life by their fingernails. It's Chris. It's Chris. Hits 2 with the links.
5 Punkten. Und
if you're going to take a fight to Vietnam, you might as well bring a Lynx with you. It's the only thing that seems to even the odds.
Jetzt heißt es aber auch, die Punkte mit nach Hause nehmen.
Stolen by X-Left. Another point for China. And meanwhile, Kickstart is going to do well for himself to get 2 from Indonesia, but he's going to get eliminated nonetheless. A nice effort.
Yeah, there was no other choice there for the United States. They had to fight on that edge and just go for kill points. There was just nothing to play from, really.
Game raus.
Still kicking for Australia, though. Like to see that.
Yeah.
Is that a C4 on that car?
Der nächste
I didn't
Mörserangriff.
see anybody in, or did somebody just get shot out of it, or Seymour died in the blue while he's driving? I don't know. Jacob has mortars too. Why not? party's kicking, party's live. Let's join. But this compound split between the UK and Chinese Taipei. They have to find a way around it. They're not even going to try to breach it.
No, the other interesting thing is that of the 7 teams, 5 of them are full formats.
Müssen sich gleich ein
It's
neues
only 2
Plätzchen
teams that are actually
finden.
coming in with
Thailand
less
kommt
than 4. And that's
gefährlich
gonna be
nah ran
Chinese
an
Taipei with
die
3 and
Deutschen.
Australia making it
Ich hoffe,
probably
die
the
sind ready
deepest
to
we've seen them
fight.
in a minute with 2.
Und
somehow found a little bit of safety up on that north
da ist
edge.
er.
It's Chris
Kiss ist knocked.
on one right now. That Link's giving him some confidence to switch over. He's taking a bunch of damage.
Chris ist
He's
auch
knocked. Grenade out, but smokes have to immediately be there. That might buy enough time for Thailand to
UK
get one.
krallt sich die
Breck shows up
Knocks
from
von
the side. He gets
Germany.
Rossiter Jr.
Nice spray. That's a very quick knock, and now it's just down to 1 member. It's just fluky.
Thailand hat nur
And
noch
he's so far
Fuki
from
am
his team, he's
Start.
opted to just try to get out, and he's going to have
Ich
to
hoffe,
contend
Chris
with the
von
UK
Deutschland
unless
wird noch
he's
gerettet.
able to speak on by. You now
Zeigen sie
see
gerade
China's
leider gar
little
nicht.
ghost looking towards Australia. Remember, this is just a
China und
duo.
Australien kommen jetzt in einen
It's going to be
intensen
12
Fight
to try
rein.
to survive and try to stop China from continuing this push forward. And China knows they need
Australien
points. This is why they're so aggressive and they
0
want to get rid
Punkte
of them
noch in dem
quickly.
Match dabei.
Flood needs to hit
Und
some
wie
headshots
ich
with
gleich
that
vermuten
Dragunov.
werde,
Make a difference in this
werden
fight.
sie auch
Moves over to the
einfach
Ogg, but he's
hops
taking
genommen.
headshots. Aches left in return from Denmark. Getting backed off just a little bit, so they
Das ist
can't
wohl
really push around the
die
side of the show right now.
schlechteste
Luke's going to spring into
Performance von
action, trying to take
Australien
advantage of
seit
that.
langem.
Gets right back behind the safety of the blown up car. China, though, continuing to
Auto
try
ist
to make
zerstört.
angles, try
By the
to
way,
take
Mika
Australia out of the
und
equation.
Brex holen sich da 2 Knocks.
Every time they do, it's Denmark who's able to put some damage in.
I can see Dolphy very much focused on China, but the rest of Denmark is actually looking over towards Germany. Gustav is going to find breaks, but man, China's just going to get rid of the last 2 members of Australia, so that Dolphy is going to get Zhao Wu down. They're going to have to get him up, but they're in the circle still, fortunately, which means that they have time, and they have 4 kills now.
That's huge, though. That's given them the opportunity, along with Germany making noise on the western edge of the circle, to at least get to more safety. Another knock onto Zhao Wu. He just got picked up.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate, but not the end of the world here. I believe China, A-OK, you know, once they kind of figure this out a little bit,
Die
to
letzten
get
6
some
Teams
level of
noch
safety.
bei Phase 6 jetzt angekommen. Und 2
He's going to get
Teams
another knock on the Zhao. At this point,
volle
I'd be surprised if
Members.
Zhao Wu has any armor or a helmet left. And the other thing, too, is that those knocks are starting to add up, right? And so that they do get in the fight and he goes down first or he goes down second. That's a lot more pressure to either get him up or just have to let him go.
I wonder how much cover there is downhill for Denmark now. Where are you going to be able to set yourself
Die
up?
Zone wird tatsächlich ziemlich heikel werden in der Endphase.
Yeah, you're right, you're right. There is a little bit of, I don't know what kind of cover that is down there at the bottom of the road. But you're right, Germany's going to be the real problem, and potentially China too.
Yeah.
They might have to come around from the north.
Agreed.
Chinese Taipei just has to play defense, it looks like. Seems like they just kind of set up a barricade. I mean, there is a little bit of space for the UK in that house, but not much.
It's not much. They're going to be on the edge of the walls, which makes them so susceptible to any form of lethal utility, and that's going to be difficult. You can see Vard, though, I like this timing. They're trying to get ahead of it. They know that if they stay behind that fence, they're most likely going to get chewed up. And look at the amount of smokes they have blocking off the angles. I love this from UK.
UK und Taipei kommen jetzt auch im intensen Häuserkampf.
Grenades being thought about.
Granate war
Vard just
gerade
clearing
gar
the corner
nichts.
there. Able
Wollte
to take
bestimmt ins
control
Haus
of window position.
reinlaufen,
Oh man,
aber
was just kind of
nicht
going
diesmal.
for the jiggle peek there, and instead he wasn't able to get the gun out and pull the trigger in time. Oh, Gustav!
Oh no!
Gustav!
Dänemark holt sich hier
right
2
on top
Knocks
of
von den
Germany.
Germans.
They had no idea he was up there.
Sieht nicht gut aus.
With
Die haben
93
auch
points, only one
schlechte
behind
Position
7.
dort.
Denmark is about to punch their ticket.
Und da
possibly
kommt
up to
aber
6th
der
place here.
Knock von
As this is
Germany.
going to be the UK with an
Und
absolutely
Dänemark fährt hier mit dem Auto runter.
of Chinese Taipei
Kurzes
and
Chaos
Germany
entsteht.
trying to fight back the best of their ability. It's down to a 2-on-2
Das
with
holt sich die
Denmark.
Deckung, muss sich
And
aber
Denmark
healen.
is getting shredded on the edge.
Oh,
Muss aber aufpassen,
Ketter
gleich
there,
hinter
just
ihm
heard the
kommt
links.
China
The bullet
rangepusht.
pinged right next to him. It's Chris.
Sieht so aus, als wird gleich Germany aus dem
shows up. Dolphy at
Game
least.
gekickt werden.
Chris from the side shoots him in the ear.
Chris ist schon mal weg.
Down already.
Und
Rex trying to get there to do something, anything.
Rex pusht hier den Berg hoch, hat aber nur die Dänen im Blick und weiß gar nicht, dass die Chinesen jetzt auch noch gerade dran sind. Brex holt sich T-Bone.
They have to be so wary of China, though. They have that superior position on the high ground.
Und UK pusht jetzt auch nochmal ran. Oh, wei, der letzte.
Wait a second, because the UK got that done so quickly. Yeah, China's actually going to go down. They're opting to go on the road earlier, and now they can use this ridge that we were talking about because there is no other threat. But still, the position that the UK has means that they can kind of abuse this ridge that they're on.
Exactly. It's just going to come down to these next couple of circles, what that affords China, or what that affords the UK to work with. There's that billboard there, that little ghost is behind. Hakes left sliding in. You're going to leave a couple players up on the high ground so far. Let's see how long that is able to be sustainable for China. Is Vard going to move in. Fex on point for now. T-Bone likely to be kind of flanked out. Michael going to use the safety of the buildings themselves to provide cover fire.
Yeah, but the problem is, even for China in that high ground, I don't think they have the angles on that ridge. That ridge is so strong for the UK that realistically, if they just play kind of whack-a-mole, they keep popping up and down, they should be able to get enough damage to just eventually get rid of China. The other issue is utility. I don't think UK has enough nades to really do what they want because of all that emergency cover that's come down as well.
So the interesting thing here is if China can get a grenade to land, but the UK should just be kind of moving back and forth to make sure that a frag grenade won't be that much of a threat in theory.
Right.
But if China can get some of those to land, if they could find a timing, get a knock, they might be able to break an angle open. Real problem is Michael.
Yeah.
He's dug in, he's got a roof.
And he's still in. He doesn't even have to move after, at least until the next shift. So, again, the onus is on China, and they're actually just sending it. They're going to the right side. They want to open up more angles and make this ridge line hell. And that's an angle they can do it from, but he's going to back off because Michael has found a knock. That's a second knockdown. Vard will find UK. And now it's just down to
Jetzt kommen die
two members of
Granaten
China.
raus.
And I think it might just be one here in just a second. The grenade right to the shoulder. Oh my god, it comes up short. Aches left cleaned up.
Aber super Engel und UK holt sich diesen Win nach Hause.
Takes Rondo, takes the chicken dinner. But man, what a wild game there. That is an unusual circle to say the least.
That was a very crazy circle. I'm glad we finally got to see the terrain down there. And that road ridge, that whole area that we saw the UK on initially, and just all of that surrounding area led it to actually some pretty cool gunfights. Now, there was a lot of terrain that was very difficult to play and just not playable at all, but man, what a journey it was for the UK to come down from the south, go immediately into that gatekeeping team of Chinese Taipei, get rid of them in a blink of an eye, and then truly take over that circle.
Yeah, it's really fun to see a game like that because you can tell the players are tentative about it too. They're trying to figure out what the hell they're going to be looking at. You know, go over this ridge. Well, do I know what angles I have? You know, what am I going to be seeing?
We saw multiple rotations where they were like, wait, we can't be here, right? We saw USA do it. I think we saw Argentina do it before they got in that fight. Brazil was trying to make heads or tails of what was going on around this compound before they got absolutely deleted by Sololzi. You saw the Philippines struggling. I think also Germany was just trying to take stock of what was going on around them and what they could play and what they couldn't play.
Yeah, but I mean, that plays well into Germany's play style because they're safe and cautious anyway. So that's why I think they get pretty deep into this game, is because they're just like, well, this is how we normally play, and this is totally fine. This is in our wheelhouse. That Lynx, man, I was hoping it's Chris would maybe just go absolutely nuclear with it. He did have 2 great shots with it, though.
I also have to say Germany is just, they've been a fantastic watch. They're on the rise. They're currently in 4th place because of just how consistent they are in getting into the late game, as you were stating, right? That play style led so well to an area that's unfamiliar to multiple teams because they're already going to play slow anyways.
Yeah, exactly. I really like that. Germany, just this is them. This is who they are, and it is part of their DNA of PUBG. As China came oh so close in that one, just a weird position, but you called it early. It was very heavily in favor of the UK with that terrain.
Yeah, that's right. Even with the high ground China initially had,
super
we
scheu,
thought, okay, they'll at least pour over, kind of get the finishing touches on Germany, but it wasn't even necessary. It wasn't even possible because of how good the ridgeline UK had. But not only that, you pointed out Michael's anchor position all the way in the back on that roof really did not let China do what they wanted to do with that high ground.
Yeah, I saw one of the players from China trying to displace him as best they could, but Michael played it brilliantly, didn't give him the opportunity. So it's a 14-kill win here for the UK. That's a phenomenal game. That should shoot them up the leaderboard.
24 Punkte total
für very healthy 24 points for them.
Und 42 Kilometer.
They are going to get some points to go home with, at least double digits there, so that's good. They needed that after the kind of disappointing last couple games that we've seen as far as today is concerned. And then Denmark, again, getting some much-needed points. And Indonesia, once again, finding that consistency in the top 4 overall in these matches has been great.
That's true, man. Again, this is the best I've ever seen from that region, and it just continues, and that makes me so happy. They've been an underrated region for a long time.
Agreed.
They haven't had great results.
I have underrated them, to be fair.
To be fair, they haven't had great results.
Thank you for at least giving me a bit of a break.
But I know what these guys are capable of at their best, and they're showing it here.
They really are. I mean, they are up there in the leaderboard much higher than a lot of people, myself included, thought. So it's been great to see, and now we're going to go to the man of the match, and I have no doubt in my mind that, yeah, it is going to be Vard. 5 kills, 504 damage. Just such a powerhouse on this team.
We go hard for Vard, that is for sure.
I love that.
Dude, he is just so good, man. And that's why, new teams are picking him up, because he's a very, very good player, and always has been. I mean, obviously, he's literally been an MVP of PNT in the past.
Yep.
We know what he's capable of, and he's showing it here.
Yeah, and fortunately for him, he's playing with one of his new teammates in Fex, so that's good. And so kind of a precursor to what we might see, and they've been so solid, man.
Yeah, dude, excited to see what that FaZe team is going to have for us. 24 points there, 13 ahead of second, which is China. 10 again for Denmark. We should talk about Denmark a bit more.
We should.
They have been ultra consistent this finals.
Yeah, they absolutely have. Is even trying to look at some of the match leaderboards from last one. They got 7 in the last game. The game before that, they were able to find a healthy amount of points. They did drop a donut today, though. They did get 0 points in one of those games. Other than that, they've had 6, 7, so they've been pretty consistent overall, and now obviously getting 10 in this game.
We can blame Avenger for the donut. Yeah, we'll give him the blame, not the players. They're too good.
I like that. And now looking at the total leaderboard, China was able to kind of create a small cushion for themselves against Thailand, right? And that's going to be the important factor for them going into the last 2 maps of the day. Now, we are going to take a break soon, but going to the last 2 maps, it's going to be imperative that China creates that cushion so that they close the door completely on Thailand, the way that Vietnam is pretty much closing the door on them.
Oh, yeah. No. It's kind of over. It's kind of done between Vietnam and China. But for China, it is not. It is not over in terms of their battle, right? Keeping teams away from second place. Thailand has a shot. There's weird worlds where somebody goes nuclear in the last 2 games, wins back-to-back. But guys, we are going to take a short break. Coming at you up next. It's the last 2 games on Erangel. Don't go anywhere.
Kill, and Vietnam, 1 player alive. He's the last player standing. Another knock, and another one. He is him, and they picked up so many points, and they're looking to put not just Vietnam.
Some time for Germany to push up, but he switches the angle.
Pushed in as well. Oh, did he C4? Has Keter C4'd that position, by the way?
Oh, the nade! No way! Halo gets all of China! What a play!
this on as we have a look at this nade from Zhao. Great damage on his nade. And he just keeps on.
Oh, he got the double. That's disgusting.
Reaching 90.
Hell of a play, though, from Thailand to just push straight up and take that fight. The angles were good. Dubdum now Argentina's going to try their hand as the mortar from Little Ghost. And this is what we were talking about. You just can't play there this early.
A little bit of success. The second one comes in. It's not good for Germany, though. USA, they're going to crash on in. And this is so bad now. Little Ghost got a bunch of the kills. Halo got one of his own. But USA now, how good could this be?
Put it at 190. I'd say it's about 204 is probably perfection.
Well, it is going to be
actually
sent
maybe 240.
Into the sky. We can see the arc going up of your Brazil.
Oh my goodness! 204 was right on the money.
Hold back, Tig, you're in a really dangerous spot. Tanvu, Vietnam get another knock and a flush. He won.
There's no way!
Tanvu deals with Korea, and the Vietnamese
are just absolutely incredible from every single member. And the nade
is another player going to fall at the hands of Vietnam. Tanvu with a smoke. He's got the angle.
No
he gets another one.
No
he deals even more damage, and he gets another kill. It's 4 for Tanvu, and Tiggleton is the next target. Tig is in the blue. Tanvu will swing wide, and he gets another. It's 5 for Tanvu.
To sit is to progress. Sit is.
스펙스 BMX 팀 유소년 선수 김한결이라고 합니다. 어릴 때부터 자전거 타는 걸 진짜 좋아해서 지금은 본격적으로 선수 생활을 하고 있어요. 처음 경기장에서 BMX 레이싱 선수들의 경기를 보고 와 진짜 멋있다라는 생각이 들어서 본격적으로 시작하게 된 것 같아요. 스포츠는 나 자신과의 싸움인 것 같아요. 어제보다 발전하기 위해 계속 도전하게 되는 것이 스포츠인 것 같아요. 내가 과연 유망주인가? 책임감 있게 행동해야겠다라는 생각도 들어요. 가장 큰 원동력은 더 잘하고 싶다는 욕심인 것 같아요. 저를 계속 도전하게 만들어요. 저에게 스포츠는 도전이에요. 넘어져도 다시 일어서면 된다는 것. 실패가 아닌 새로운 시작이 기다리고 있어요.
Straight from the underground. Listen to the real funk. Hold on. Watch out, the furious. Better be focused. Listen to the real funk.
And it goes a little something like this. It goes on and on and on and on. It goes on and on and on and on. It goes on and on and on and on. Listen to the real funk.
혹시 모델업팅 좀...
Original, straight from the underground.
We are back. PNC 2025 is in its twilight. 2 more games, and Team Vietnam is in a commanding lead. We look to the rest of the leaderboard to see how that all shakes out. And it is going to be Erangel, the classic, El Clasico, as we get ready to take our last couple of plane pass here. Godspeed.
It is fitting that it would end on Erangel with such a legendary team in first place right now. But like you said, it's not just about them. It's about second place. It's about China. It's about Thailand. It's about the USA all the way down. I mean, the leaderboard is stacked from 4th all the way to 9th place. Actually, 10th place. There's real possibility. There's a lot of movement to shift around in those placements.
Exactly.
And a lot of money to be made.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. Want to see who ends up where. So you can check out some of the POVs of our teams, as you just saw. And this plane, a little bit to the north, flying right over Razak in towards Lipovka. And Chinese Taipei out super early up towards Zarki. You have Thailand and North George, USA is South George. Gatka should be Vietnam's sole territory, but there should be a hot drop.
Pachinki and Pachinki. It should be Australia versus the Philippines, and it will be. Tick told me today, he's like, we have no intention of not going.
I don't blame him.
No,
why not?
I mean, why not? At this point, just have fun.
Exactly. Just go out with a bang if you can. Poland mega close here to Korea's drop as they didn't go into Razak.
Drop von Australien, Pachinki.
So close. Tiggleton has an
Gibt's
M249.
ja nicht.
Takes forever in a year to load that thing, but once you get it there, you're gonna have a lot of bullets to work with.
Die letzten
a Bison with just
Tage
30
auch
behind
gemacht.
it.
Und wurden direkt aus dem Spiel eliminiert.
Look at this little thing right here.
50-50.
Yep. 50-50 on Everest, too. That's this is going to be a fun one once we get there, but this is all about the nice spray. Tig's going to find Kalbs. And you know Australia want to prove a point here.
Well, this is something Tig was talking about to me yesterday after the matches, about how he was so annoyed with the way the Philippines were able to get up on the roofs quickly without them knowing about it. They didn't hear it.
Yeah.
So this is like a counter move to that. They want to be the ones up on the roof.
And you can see 2 of them already there. That was a nice knock. And so an opportunity here for Australia to really put them on the back foot early, but don't forget there have been multiple teams that know this hot drop is going. In fact, I already see Marselect in Pachinki. He's at church. Well, so they're going to come to third party this. I can guarantee it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, a couple other players from Poland are squaring up here against Korea. Salute, Iron Sight M4 has 2 players on the other side of a hill. Ooh, 10 trip catches Monty. That's the AK. Powerful in the close quarters battles for sure. There's the counter knock though. Flood able to find that. CJ sitting on the outside. Algenbots as well. M16 in hand.
Yeah. That's a gun we have. I haven't said that.
I think it's the first time this tournament I've said it.
I think there was like 1 in survivals in like an early highlights, because that's just all that was available. You can see Tig right above 10 trip. 10 trip can hear that, and vice versa. So they know and are aware of each other's positions. Algenbot, and look at this, Salolzi cruising in, the silent killer, as Tig is gonna find 10 trip. That is a big knock for Australia.
Yeah, that was a tough one for 10 trip. Tried to take the tight angle, but couldn't get the spray through in time, and Tig was able to respond. Again, having all those extra bullets in the back pocket gives you a little bit of extra ability to take fights, to go for those extra peaks. Salalzi into the ditch.
This is just so dangerous from anyone else. When you see it, just a solo player from Vietnam doing something like this, I mean, the confidence is sky high. I mean, and for rightly so, but still terrifying for the rest of the lobby, because these guys are still competing for a lot, even though you may be done.
Right. Flood has to watch the angle to make sure that the res can be stuck. Safety is there. I think Australia back up to all 4 players. So couple machine guns though for Australia. They've got some real firepower to bring out into this fight. But now Salalzi, could he not see Algenbots? It's hard to tell sometimes with the X-ray.
Yeah, I don't even know, but look at this. Look at the way they've pretty much set up to trap anyone else also coming out. Look, they're actually shadowing Poland right now. Vietnam is just a menace, and they're just going to leave Solozli in here to do whatever he wants. I mean, get what you can. If you die, who cares?
Yeah, it really doesn't matter to them at this point. They can just have some fun. Okay, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure you can see him.
Easy knock, easy as you like. That's gonna be a free kill for Sololzy.
Oh, Flood just barely able to scooch back behind the building. Somehow, some way, Algin managed to get that knock right before he got knocked.
Yeah, what was that all about? As you can see, Australia is actually kind of thinking, do we just kind of back off now and slow down? Because it's no longer a hot drop. It's no longer a 4-on-4. They have to deal with external factors. On top of Marsalek trying to go on that church, now they have to deal with Sololzy.
And Flood's in a precarious position, so...
Agreed.
Yeah,
getting to him is actually difficult. So it looks like they're grouping up to try to really make sure that they deal with CJ. And then figure it out from there with Flood. The revive is available.
Sieht so aus, als wenn sie ultra splittet, jeder solo unterwegs und
the idea is there.
Schauen, was sie für Punkte hier irgendwie nach Hause holen können.
We'll see if that is to fall apart for them.
Man, die können jetzt die letzten 2 Games machen, was sie wollen.
Rotating tentatively in between Vietnam. You look how wide this split is.
50 Punkte immer noch im Vorsprung, kann keiner aufholen.
But they're
da, Himas ist auch auf dem Berg, guckt nach Kills.
More north of it, which is why they're not even shooting or getting much out of it. And that's fine. They're content with this.
Yeah, at this point, Sololzy is officially backed off. So for Vietnam now, they said, okay, well, we had our fun. We got our point. Let's move on with life. Let's see how far. Let's really see how far we can get into this one.
But again, the discipline on that, because they can do whatever they want, but they're still playing proper. They're like, you know what? Let's not waste time with this. Let's still make sure we're getting good position. You know, it's just they want to prove a point. I mean, they've already proven it, but now they're just hammering it.
Exactly. Again, I am all about it. I want to see the best of the best, and I want to see the best, like, just never give up. Just
Flut wird jetzt noch gerettet,
never let go.
Der Freund von den Philippinen genockt worden
ist. By Tiggleton. Got back just in time. CJ looks like he's moved up to the church, I think.
Jetzt,
at least that's where I'm guessing that dot is
Platz
located for the last player of the
Mountain.
Philippines.
And what I'm curious about is we see Poland now in a potential fight here with
wisst
Vietnam on top of
aufpassen,
Everest.
Darwin und Tanbu
Australia willing
sind
and
auf dem
content to
Berg
just camp this out
und haben
and
sich
make
schon
sure that
Plätzchen
the Philippines
gefunden.
don't get to res?
I bet.
I mean, why not?
Da ist wieder die Panzerfaust
why
zu
not?
sehen.
Yeah.
Salut.
You've opted to take this fight. What else do you have to lose at this point? You know, sure, a couple placement spots here or there, maybe.
I don't think Australia's worried about that right now. As Brazil is going to rotate right on Q bridge. Currently, it's going to be Korea that's sat there, and they haven't shot yet. I think they're baiting. They want them to crash. They want them to think that Cube is open because Cube is currently one of the best positions in the circle. But they're just going to drive on by. Okay.
So you can already see a bit of difference in decision-making versus day one to now. Brazil crashed that against China on day one, and now they're like, okay, we learned our lesson. Let's try something else.
Yeah, it did not work out for them too well, as now we're going to see Norway's 8C finding a spray on the Vex. Some damage going out, but not enough to make them slow down, and they're just going to drive on by. But look at Michael. He's right underneath Hyman.
Yeah, he took a bunch of damage. Michael thinking about the grenade. 8C, whoa, we just saw him immediately spun, but James out there. 4X spray is good. Finds the knock, even though Michael did find one of his own. Tanbu just destroys Cappy. Didn't even take any damage there.
Kommen so langsam die
Now
Knocks
8C
in das Game.
sitting, but looks like they're going to be able to get this res, I think.
Philippinen schon mit 3
It was the
aus
off
dem
angle there
Spiel.
that really hurt
Polen
Michael. Otherwise, that was a
sowieso.
great engage, a beautiful spray to get the first knock. But again, it was
UK hat
James
auch
with
schon
a
einen
counter
verloren.
on that backside and a beautiful 4X spray of his own.
Die Deutschen gerade auf Platz 4 mit den Punkten, die sie aus dem Vorgame geholt haben.
Is it hard to find a glider? I don't know. Germany has one every single game.
They have hard spawns. On this map.
Yeah, but it's been every.
I know. They're obsessed.
They must know where every hard spawn is.
Oh,
I mean,
for sure.
surely.
No, they know. They're obsessed. Like that's why they're always dropping edge, so they can just make sure that every time they have what they need. What in the world happened here? No way. Oh, they drove at him. Well, that's okay. That's just asking for it. I thought he was going to keep driving by. That's Marsalek right into the open arms of Sol and Raining.
Yeah, I mean, he has to know it. Like, surely Cube would be taken, right?
maybe he thought because he didn't hear anything when Brazil drove by.
That's actually a very good point, which again gives credence to that's a good strategy by Korea. I mean, we'll debate at least someone in there, but yeah, Brazil being the wiser. Briggs got to be careful now.
I mean, the good news is, again, it actually is pretty hard to hit people in those things, even at the pro level. But it's Chris is like, oh, you guys are shooting? That's cool. I've got a machine gun.
And I don't think, yeah, I doubt the UK has any idea that Chris, and this is the night. Oh, wait a second though, Bard sniffed it out. He landed a headshot. And what is that shift? Woo! North George with the Bay of George Pool still in.
These are like 90% ending in those fields.
Oh yeah.
Like north of North George. That's almost where they always end. Every once in a while you get lucky and it ends somewhere else. T-Bone. Oh, no, no, no. What a grenade from Chris. He had a blue zone in hand, too. Brex's glider is in that state you were talking about earlier. Doesn't actually blow up, just can't fly any further. Just has to glide to the ground. What in the world was that nade? That was disgusting.
Yeah, that was
Chris.
a gross nade as Germany now putting the screws to the UK. Just 2 members down. Varn may opt to back off. Just get out of dodge. A nice pre-fire on the angle.
Krass pre-fired, aber nichts getroffen.
It's just going from bad to worse there for the UK.
Wir müssen nur aufpassen, gleich müssen sie
Dire position
rotieren.
potentially, but revive's available, so who knows? Denmark sliding underneath of Norway. Norway's going to take control of the ridge line here by the power tower and leave James as an anchor behind in the valley. And that's going to be their setup. Meanwhile, Vard being hounded, being accosted. They want to make sure the UK can't do anything about the reses. And no hope in hell there. The Molly right behind him. Couldn't even find the shots. Vard goes down. One player left here for the UK. Can Beck survive?
Yeah, if it wasn't the 2 members pushing him, it was definitely the Molly that was able to get Vard down on his knees. And so, as you said, just 1 member left. I also do want to point out, Pachinki, Australia finally left, which means that CJ is probably going to get all of his team back.
Oh, that is interesting. He was able to hide long enough that Australia just kind of gave up. China landing in the fields. I love this. I love this because this is
one of the best spots in the circle, hands down.
Exactly.
It's not even close. These waves, in fact, are where most of the teams, when the circle does come here, as you stated, it does usually go here. They win from this position right here.
I think this is really smart by China. They're playing the odds, and they're playing them well. Korea going to land over near one of the apartments and some of the houses on the west side of North George. Thailand is in the middle. They have Chinese Taipei out on the mountains and hillsides to their west, but should be fine for now. There's a crate there. I don't know if anybody's picked it up, but could be some good gear in there. Who knows?
Probably, maybe a Lynx. We've actually seen a healthy amount of Lynxes since the change to it being added to all maps, and I'm so glad because that gun only being on Miramar was kind of a travesty. It's so fun to use. It really sucks getting shot at, though.
Yeah, no. It is like so scary. It's more scary than the of course. So it's like, oh my God.
So at least Poland, again, they've been consistent and the crazy thing is they found a lot of consistency, but they still find themselves in 15th place, even after a good day yesterday.
Yeah, they had some rough ones here today where it kind of felt like some of the stuff that was going on.
They just didn't win their team fights, man. They were getting shredded in a lot of those. That was the issue. And then we saw in that first Miramar game where they had the opportunity to win, but again, they lost Pufa early, and that pretty much spelled the doom. But Pufa at least able to get his members back. And now the rest of Germany coming in the circle after their successful fight with the UK, and they're going to be running right into, it looks like, Argentina as the circle is going to shift again. And not so much on the fields as we thought.
Yeah, actually, a little bit off center. By the way, I think
Germany
Master is about to get killed by Delwyn. Delwyn's just creeping up right behind him. But yeah, this is now you have a tough decision as China. They actually lit up an emergency airlift. What are they going to do about it? Maybe just Lil Ghost has been using those to get info sometimes, so maybe they're just going to do that.
Yeah, they could just send up one and bring him right back. I mean, they could actually see that such a good position to play here is actually where Argentina is. If they can hold out this edge, then you can take this fight all the way up this mountain, and then you can work your way around that ridge. And there's such a beautiful area to fight on foot around where we currently see Denmark as well as Norway. But again, you need to do that late. You can't be the first teams there. Denmark at least has a compound that they're in, so they can hide from all the fighting, but Norway's out in the open.
Yeah, Denmark's compound can be pretty good for just getting into the late game. It's Chris, a menace with the machine gun. Makes Capitan sweat a little bit. Is he gonna be able to get any more done? Kind of spraying underneath, hoping. Capitan actually gets in the vehicle and backs up a bit. The vehicle, some of the tires already gone there. Oh boy, out in the open, Capitan caught flat-footed. Mika was right there. Germany's on the hunt this game.
Yeah, Germany.
Capitano.
More
Und da
aggressive
ist
than, I mean,
Capitano eliminiert worden.
Too much more aggressive than they usually are, but able to find some teams here to hunt down. It's going to be UK first, now Argentina, and it looks like Indonesia has found Australia.
Und Argentinien.
Australia was trying to make a wide wrap after their late leave of Pachinki. Zareth trying to hope the Dragunov will find a head. Doesn't find it. There you go, Australia right into Germany. Oh no, this is bad. And Flood's able to at least back Zareth off the angle, but you're out of the frying pan into the fire because Indonesia's next up to bat.
You can see Luke 12 was trying to get some sort of a reprieve, and oh no, oh no. Well,
just denying.
Yeah, I mean, denying from what? Vietnam, though? I mean, really? I don't think denying them is going to do much. Oh, he's going down.
He wants to punch him. He wants to punch him.
Is he That's okay.
Even that one even got Avenger to laugh a little. Well, now Germany's actually in trouble because they're kind of surrounded. Korea's dying. One of them from fall took a knock. Germany gone. Yep, that didn't take long. Tiggleton went nuts there for a second.
Germany
that immediately went down to, it looks like, Indonesia and Argentina. And Delwyn is going to get found by Matchers. It's going to be a bolt straight to the dome.
That's actually amazing that Matchster made it out of there. Honestly, I thought Delwyn had him dead to rights. He was creeping up behind him for the longest time.
Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, you spotted on the minimap. I did not think it's fine, but he's still in the blue now. And this circle right on that. This was one of my favorite areas ever to fight. It's so good. I love this area of North Georgia above it. Very conducive to fighting on foot. Great angles. It's Cretus to let multiple teams on there. This is an awesome finish, man. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the better parts of the map. I'm with you on that. Michael's dead. There's no way.
Good night, sweet prince.
Yeah, surely somebody lands one more bullet.
Oh, maybe not.
Oh, wow.
Maybe not, actually.
Wow, he actually got to the water.
All right.
Now, got a cheer from the crowd.
we do want to remind you that Michael currently doesn't have a weapon. He doesn't have a helmet. He probably doesn't even have a shirt on. So, although he did make it into the water, he still has a long way to go.
You come back into the lobby in PUBG after a revive, just like you come into this world.
With nothing.
Nothing. You got nothing. You're naked. You're nothing.
Ooh, Zhao Wu finds Leo trying to find a position, actually a very aggressive position just in front of China. As you can see, they were rotating in from the north, but China's going to cut that off immediately, and now they're going to hold out what's left of Chinese Taipei. And Argentina, again, I love this position for them. Yes, they're on the edge. It doesn't look like they're in a great spot, but they have so much room to work with and find that circle. Once they get, if they can get rid of Indonesia. Now again, Iceland's putting a stop to this rotation coming out from Chinese Taipei, but it looks like Xiaowei was close, but not close enough.
Yeah, Brazil has some high ground in the center of the circle, and they were able to see that. Korea has to fight their way out now. Opted to go for an edge of the city and couldn't really make any rotations outside because of Chinese Taipei initially. Now they just have to kind of work their way building to building, and Thailand is completely set up to keep them out. They're down to, well, they've got all 4 players, so they have that going for them, whereas Thailand has lost Fluky. So they have a numbers advantage.
Typisch ist für ein realistisches Game, dann
I mean, this is so hard to cross.
Yeah, it's really, really difficult. You can see now there's so many angles. You have to worry about the multiple levels on these apartments. And then teams can be stacked in each and every one. And then there's no safe route. You have to run through open angles. And you can see, unless you have smoke, Salute, hold on a second. Might buy them a small reprieve. A break in the action to somewhat recover. Michael will go down and ask to find him, so his journey will end.
Yeah, because even if you put
Aber
smokes
jeder
down,
hat
they
natürlich
can get
seine
angles above you. Kiss
eigene
might have read this beautifully. He knows the time.
favorite Weapon.
You're so susceptible to nades.
Salut
It just
für
makes
noch
it a target. Okay,
und
he's got to
jetzt
be in
noch
the
die
smoke.
Molly vor
They're
das
so
Haus.
screwed now. They're
Wird
in the blue.
natürlich schwierig jetzt
Thailand
sein,
has them
sich
dead to
hochzuheben
rights.
und in die
Circle gonna
Zone
end
zu
on that
kommen,
hill.
wenn
That's a really fun finish
abgekämpft
we have
werden
in
von den
store for us.
Thailändern.
It's Kiss.
Und
Gets
die
hit with a little bit of
Amerikaner
damage. Korea has to make a move.
spielen da
Now
auch
they're able
nochmal eine
to
Rolle mit.
leapfrog a little bit further forward, but you don't have many first aids left that I see, and Jacob cooks a grenade. Here's the footsteps, lets it loose. Doesn't actually connect, and quickly two
Und da
fall,
ist
Korea gone.
Korea raus.
The issue now, if you look at the leaderboard, Korea has fallen to 6th place.
Korea
That's crazy.
And they could slip
wird
even more. Look
wahrscheinlich
at this.
das Turnier
Denmark,
nicht mit nach
Argentina,
Hause
and
nehmen. Die
USA
stehen jetzt bei
are all
103
less than 10 points
Punkten
behind.
und
And
sind
Indonesia
fast
are just straight
100
up 10
Punkte
points behind.
behind zu Vietnam.
They just
Vietnam
can't really
jetzt
get
mit
it together.
199
Last couple of days,
Punkten
first day looked like they were going to be right as rain.
und
Yeah,
sind
really
natürlich
did.
noch in
Bright
der
as
Lobby
raining.
drin. Ne?
Nice,
Sorry.
nice. No.
That was in spirit of toffees. I had to.
No, it's okay. I'm also a dad joke enjoyer, so you are well in your rights to make them.
I mean, I'm
Even though Toffees is bigger on them than me.
That's true. I'm
Da
also
sehen wir
getting there
nochmal,
in
wie die Deutschen
age.
rausgenommen
There's
worden sind.
I guess it's natural as we see how exactly Germany was taken out by Australia
Germans
before then
wollten nochmal mit
Australia
dem
went down.
Auto
Brazil
sich
now with good
umpositionieren,
amount of
aber
control on this ridge, but
wahrscheinlich
again, being here early sometimes can be a
laufen
detriment.
da die
Fortunately,
besseren
USA is not going to
Möglichkeiten.
push out of their safety zone quite yet, which means that Brazil has some breathing room.
Grenades are actually pretty tough to get to land for Brazil.
Yeah.
The hill's just a bit too steep. So China holding on for now, and they're also doing damage to Argentina in the meantime. So they've got a pretty nice little foothold at the very least. Setsuna actually didn't even need shots through. Trick had already done the job. Santastico has Jacob. That is a dead Jacob, I think.
Yeah, definitely so. Again, another point, Brazil just maintaining that 5th place spot, maintaining the consistency. Another kill in their bag, which means they're now 3 points behind Germany in 4th place, and they're in a position to pass them. In fact, depending on how well they do, they could claim 3rd in this game.
Wow. That's crazy. Let's see if Brazil can hold on. You still have 3 members of Vietnam looming. They're out on the apartments on the eastern side of North George. Rossiter Jr. has a hay bale and a badly beaten up Dacia. Oh, Ming Ming got knocked by Rossiter Jr., in fact, and he's the one who's going to claim that. So Ming Ming not aware that there was going to be another player back there. Now you've got Lil Ghost down. Gustav finds the shots with the SLR. Well, they're in trouble now.
Big trouble. It looks like Biel was just about ready to knock and finish off XLF, but he prones behind this ridge. Now, although it is difficult to get nades down here, in that pocket, it's much easier for the bounce. As you can see, he's trying to just desperately throw smokes and shoot people off the angle, but I doubt China survives here much longer, especially now with this new circle, especially now that Denmark is starting to flex out paper.
Oh, yeah. Little bit of extra help there for China, I guess, with Rossiter Jr. being taken down, but yeah, there's a grenade. Oh, that was so close. Aches left, 9 HP left. Gets the res through at the very least. They're trying to scoot uphill, but no, finally, Ketter gets the 2-piece.
Feine Granate.
So now it's up to Brazil. Can they hold back Denmark, but also Norway? They've been on the eastern side of this ridge. They've held that this long. They're going to start to come alive as Brazil putting so much damage on the side of Denmark. Dofi in a lot of trouble.
Nice sprays there. Posa almost gets Dofi down. Another grenade being thought about. I think that's Norway lining up onto the players on top. Oh my God. Posa just got an unpleasant surprise, to say the least. Ketter still alive for Denmark, but he's the only one. Everybody else knocked or dead. So he's gonna have to take a moment to go for the heal. And Norway could play spoiler here for Brazil.
They could, but if they're not careful, Vietnam actually really dictates what happens in this game. Whether they go for USA or whether they wrap to the right, they go to the east side and they come up behind Norway because they're currently distracted by what's going on with Denmark and with Brazil, which means that they could potentially backstab to get even more points. And then that would open the door for the USA to then wrap towards the west. Again, it's the butterfly effect. It all depends on what Vietnam decide to do here, or they could just stay put and let the fight to the north happen.
It's good to be king.
It is.
You get to make decisions. You get to kind of decide what happens in the game. If they play for the win, I'll be curious to see what they think is the better option between all of those. I would think go kind of almost straight up the gut a little bit, use the hillside, but then you got to worry about Norway up in the north. Tough decisions to make. 18, a little bit of damage in. Poland gone. So we're down to our final 4 teams, but
und außer Vietnam sind die beiden
4 for Brazil, 4 for the USA, and 3 for
3
Vietnam.
anderen Teams noch voll.
Sparking on point. AC's been so good in these spots today.
Yeah, but it does indeed look like it's the Rap East. That's what Vietnam has chosen, especially now that they see the smokes, they hear the nades, the fight is going out, they hear the shots, and they are going to be sprinting towards that fight, and I imagine it is going to be USA going towards the west, so exactly what we thought was going to happen is going to happen.
Love to see it. Another good fight here for Norway. Biel trying to counter with some grenades of his own. Norway, if this fight goes on too much longer, they're in danger of just getting ripped apart from behind. Vietnam has arrived. Welcome to the party, guys. Oh, man.
It's about to be the most unpleasant sandwich Norway has ever been in.
Tangu spraying out, got AC, put some more damage into Brazil. I mean, they're shooting at everybody, they don't even care. Equal opportunity offender, Santastico goes down to Jeems. Jeems with a huge double, but Himas striking from behind. Jeems at least trying to salvage what points he can here for Norway, but Vietnam is formidable. Vietnam is indomitable, and Himas looking for the grenade.
More important, it seems like Vietnam is inevitable as they come in and wipe what is left. And now it is up to the USA with 4 strong. It's just Himas. Surely there's no way USA let this one slip through their fingers.
This is the last player on the planet I'd want to go against in this situation, though. 1v4, sure, but you saw yesterday what he almost did to Germany. It's a little bit of damage in, but he is pretty screwed here. He is pretty stuck. Yeah, and there you go. Alo's got it. USA takes another win.
Yeah, they do take another win. Now, they didn't get a lot of kills off of that, but again, they were hunkered in that apartment for a while. They got there early. They were rewarded for it. And so they will take the dub. But man, what a game from Brazil. Again, fighting tooth and nail. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they actually took that spot. I think they overtook.
Let's go. Moving, still moving. There's still one more game, so a lot can change in the middle of that leaderboard, absolutely. And the USA fans, very, very happy to see the USA come out strong today.
That stand, I want to stay unemployed. That is Alo's wife. I love that side. Oh my goodness, she is great, she is great. But yeah, it's gonna be the United States that take that one as we head into the highlights. And what a roller coaster of a game this was. And it started with that crazy hot drop. We knew it was gonna happen. Again, we saw this rotation from the UK trying to get past them on the east side next to that Yas Bridge, but it was not to be.
Yeah, just a very odd game, a very odd circle.
Dann kommen wir gleich zu dem
50-50, so
letzten Match.
it forces teams to make some decisions. Germany fighting early, that's very strange for them. They kind of went for some aggression. Actually, it feels like they kind of maybe flipped the switch back there and said, you know what, guys, let's go big or go home.
Well, they were finding success in the early fight. It was really until Australia came to third party them against Argentina that they started running into troubles, and then Argentina was able to flip the script then on Australia and get rid of them. But yeah, it was really, I'm looking at Korea because again, we've now seen them slide down to 6th place, and that is the last spot. Look, sure, they may have not been able to win the event, but maybe at least 2nd, 3rd. Right now, it's possible they don't even finish in the top 8. That's how dangerous and how close this is becoming in this last game.
That is excellent. That is what I want to see. Let's get a good final game. Let's make it nice and close to the very end. USA all the way. That's 2 chicken dinners today.
Yeah.
So you love to see that. And we only have one more. That's it. Then we're done. Can you believe it? 5 days. We're almost done.
5 days, I feel like it went by in the blink of an eye. I mean, genuinely did. And these games have been so good. We've been spoiled with some of the best PUBG we've seen in a minute, right? We always get that. There's so many events throughout the year. We get the PGSs, we get PGC at the end of the year. PNC is just such a fun event, and again, it showcases so much that these regions have to offer, and again, the new talent. So I almost wish there was at least another day, but it's got to come to an end at some point.
Yeah, no doubt. is a salute fan out there. Wants to see Korea fighting. USA is going to end up just barely being that top team. Norway, 9 kills, but quite as many placement points. Vietnam, I don't know, they're just always there. They're just always
diese Runde ist nicht so viel Damage gefallen.
Because they're so good.
And again, Brazil finding themselves
den meisten Damage
towards the end
geholt.
of
1600.
towards the end game, finding kills.
Und wir erinnern uns an die letzten Runden, da
they've really only had
ab
one bad game
2000
where they dropped
aufwärts.
0 points. Other than that, they've been in the points and the money
Damage.
pretty much every single time. So we head now to the man of the match, and it's gonna be Alo.
Let's go.
Let's go. Looks like
one knock, he's stealing kills.
176 damage, but you know what? That's okay. They'll take it. Any kill that they can get, because they are still fighting for those potentially 4th place spot, maybe even 3rd. There's a world they could cling it with this last game, depending on how big they go. They're not too far behind Thailand.
No, not at all. Still things to work on. Still things to do. Job's not done just yet. 15 there for the USA, 14 for Norway, 13 for Vietnam. Brazil gets 9 big ones, able to at least, you know, take quite a few kills, get a little bit deeper from their position. Even though it took a while to get rid of China, eventually, with a little help from Denmark, they got there.
Yeah, and speaking of, you were talking about Denmark, again, 5 more points, so even they're still salvaging points. But the most important thing I think I have to point out, Vietnam broke 200 points for this PNC, which we are about to see right now. And sure enough, 208 points. That is diabolical. They are 100 points ahead of 6th place, which is Germany.
That's bonkers, dude. Not only that, they're 65 points ahead of 2nd place.
Rein theoretisch brauchen sie erst das letzte Spiel gar nicht mehr spielen.
I mean, it is my job to talk, but I'm genuinely at a loss for words at how dominant they have been. I mean, they literally have not made any mistakes. They have been flawless this entire 3-day event because they didn't have to play in survival stage.
No. It's hard to be better than they have been. It really is. You rarely see dominance like this in PUBG esports. Only a few times throughout our great esports history have we seen it. And this is one of those special occasions where we know they've got it. It's over.
They know they've got it.
Well done and dusted.
It's so cool though for them. But again, it's not over. China most likely have secured 2nd place for themselves as well. A fantastic showing. But 3rd place is not safe. Thailand has not had a good day. They have been struggling. And only at 119 points, there's at least 4 to 5 other teams that are knocking on their doorstep.
That is the biggest concern, I'd say, for anybody in this lobby right now. It's that 3rd place spot. As Erangel awaits, it's time for the Grassy Pastors one more time here at PNC 2025. Let's get into our final game.
And the beautiful thing about this is we know we're gonna get our appetizer. We know we're gonna get a hot drop once again between Australia and the Philippines. And so we'll see who's able to close out that series. I think so far, Philippines have gotten the better of them, but in the last one, it was Australia.
Yeah, they played it really, really well. Like the little micro adjustments that Tig is making with this team. Real quick, I just gotta point this out. I've been looking at the kills, like individually. Number 1 is Tanvu with 45.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Himas with 38.
Wahrscheinlich wieder.
Number 3, Aches left, he has 30. It's an 8-kill drop between 2nd and 3rd, and both of those top 2 players are on the same team. That is bananas.
Yeah.
Absolutely bananas.
Ja.
Lord help all
Wer
the
hätte
teams.
das gedacht? Australien.
Dude, all of a sudden now you look at PGS and you're like,
Und Philippinen wieder Hauptschwab in Puschinski.
GG server. I mean, that whole region just filthy good. As here we go. This is the hot drop we were promised. We knew it was coming. Oh, that's going to be an early pistol for Tig. That's going to be a nice knock on 10 trip. A good start yet again for Australia.
That was fancy.
With that M9, yep.
Put that into his highlight reel. That was pretty nice. Oh, all the way over to the other side this time. Eastern.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, my God. Australia chose violence this time. They're on the hunt.
Yeah, talking to Tig today, he said, we just want to prove a point. Felt a little disrespected, and we're not going to stop. Talon, brother, oh my goodness, of course.
Nothing. He ran straight here.
Oh my God, I saw it so Sololzy too. And you have to expect this if you're Australia, right? And the Philippines at this point. And what I expect to happen here is the other two members of the Philippines are just gonna wait.
Is this just like Vietnam being like, we're anti-hot drop, so we're coming in here to like
the King Charles of the lobby, you know, they're just putting a stop to all the fights around it, spreading their dominance throughout the field.
Yeah, they're like the Holy Roman Empire right now, just like nobody else gets to fight. This is our territory. And
you said it though, it was Australia that said they wanted to make sure they held the high ground in Pochinki, and in these last two games at least, they've done just that.
It's a big part of the equation here. Not seeing the greatest in terms of helmets and other things. So Algenbots, some of those targets don't have helmets, and you've got a 7.6 sniper. That looks juicy, but they actually drop down. Tig gonna clear out some windows. They do have the side-by-side here for Luke, and they're hunting, but Philippines has tried to hide themselves. They've kind of fanned out a little bit. Vietnam might just be looting. They haven't even moved.
Yeah, and this is kind of devastating for the Philippines, and I almost wish they didn't choose to hot drop here, because we know Australia would have gone there, but I mean, you see Philippines in 13th place. They're only outside of 11th by 3 points, so 4 points. Why not try to go? I mean, that's extra money instead of the hot drop. Maybe they thought they could get those points and recover while taking the fight to Australia, but we've seen now, even more recently in the last game and even at the end of yesterday, not only was it Chinese Taipei willing to come third party, but now it's going to be Vietnam, and that's the last team you want to deal with after already dealing with a hot drop. So this might be a small mistake on the part of the Philippines where they could have maybe gotten more out of it. I mean, they had a crazy game. They could have maybe even taken 10th.
I'm usually with you, but sometimes the players are just, you know how they can be. They're bullheaded.
I do, yeah, and that's fair. I'm not upset by it. I'm just saying maybe a missed opportunity. That's all.
I'm the coach, I'm agreeing with you. If I'm in charge of that team, I am not, because they're probably at least like 2 or 3 placement or spots on the leaderboard ahead if they don't do the hot drop. I think.
Yeah,
I think.
I think I would agree with you. As we can see again, yeah, CJ's going to hide, and as is Algenbots, and they've actually rotated all the way around Australia. You can see that Vietnam, again, the same setup to punish them if they try to leave Pochinki. They have 2 members in. You can see it's going to be Hamas and Ton Vu over at Gatka proper. And then I actually also just noticed Poland. Now, we didn't really talk about the circle much, as Algebas is going to take some shots. In fact, he's going to get knocked by Tig, which now just leaves CJ once again all alone, as the circle is far on the east coast, and this has actually left a lot of water in order for them, the teams on the field, to have to deal with.
You know, Tig is like one of those players I would not want to go up against in a hot drop in Pochinki, because you know he lives here. Like, you can watch it on his stream. He's so good at it. But, you know, the confidence for Philippines early on, well warranted. They won some of the battles. Australia there, mutant in the hands of Flood. And CJ doing a little, I call this chicken walking. Like where you kind of crouch and then you see the leg, like kind of.
You kind of stop and it kind of does a little stanky leg.
Yeah, exactly. A little stanky leg. What in the world's going on here? That's a knock on to Seoul. And then Korea just drives at Ming Ming. They're like, you knocked our guy. We're going to try to stop this. But instead, it's trying to, what in the world? Lil Ghost, what happened? Raining all of a sudden takes down Lil Ghost. He ran over his own teammate. Grenades are coming. This is madness. Xiaowu out in the open. Oh, Raining had an opportunity, but couldn't convert with the ace, and he's got it. He's got another knock, but he's the last one left. He's so weak.
A potential disaster here for Korea as they're about to fall their last member, and they have 2 more teams breathing down their neck, and that is it. Korea's PNC is over with the window wide open and the teams behind them.
China could get a revive here too. They're not too far away from a station, and they've got vehicles, so that's actually plenty doable. Thailand is wrapping way around the world. This is a journey that Magellan would respect, going all the way up to the north.
Well, we saw earlier that I think there's an extra 7,000 to 8,000 kilometers traveled just from Germany alone to the second place team as far as distance traveled. I also want to say that the show of respect from not only the Vietnamese but the Chinese fans after Korea went down was really awesome. They all got up, they all clapped.
Yeah.
And it was, yeah.
Back-to-back winners, but at this point, you run into each other like that, you're going to take the fight. Like you just got something to prove. For China, that's really, really nice. Just really solidifies their second place. Thailand, I'm assuming they're making this ultra-wide wrap just because they want to be as safe as possible. Like they want to make sure that at least third is theirs.
But you say that, and I agree with exactly what you're saying. The issue is, how many times have we seen teams play more safe and play more essentially, I don't want to say scared, but hesitant, and we've seen that backfire in their face at the end of a tournament. Almost every single event this happens, and I really hope that's not going to be the case with Thailand.
Yeah, maybe this is just their normal thing.
It's possible, yes.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think back to another Eastern Circle, but I can't remember the way they rotated in it. So very well could be the par for the course.
Sure.
But like Denmark was still in Severity, so I was a little bit worried for them. I guess I'm not going to kill quickly with a mutant for sparking.
I don't actually think we saw any Eastern Circles. I think the
maybe a
most
survival
East we
stage.
got, yeah, as far as finals was, I think, around Death Road. There was nothing this far towards Lip.
I must have been survival stage. I'm thinking of.
I think you're right. And even then, most of the circles on Wrangel have actually been on the West Coast, and the Millie Base Island that we had, right? In survival stage,
right off the rip. Yeah. All right, Poland has Vietnam near them. Are they just going to take a fight? Because, well, it's Marcelik. Of course he is. He might not have a choice, though. Damage done. Actually, so far, okay.
Yeah, rare misses here from Vietnam. I mean, very rare. They've been just plucking people out of cars and vehicles left and right. And fortunately for Poland, they're going to be able to drive on by, skirt on by. Vietnam at this point is just looking for any team they can punish. And look at the clown car that is Australia.
They're wisely. They heard those shots, I think.
Yeah, they're going wide.
And they're like, nah, let's do something else.
They're going to go all the way down to Crossroads and probably even further south if they can and just kind of ride the edge there on the coast.
Well,
Poland is there, though, in the way.
What? They turned around.
Yeah,
Did Tig just go, do you guys just want to fight? And they went, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, probably.
Which is fine.
They can do whatever they want at this point.
Exactly.
Just have fun with it. It's the last game. And China now, they were able to get Zhao Wu up, so good res for them. As that was sketchy for them, even though they did take out Korea, it was almost down to a 1v1. In fact, I think it was.
It was close.
Yeah.
It was not comfortable for China by any stretch. Blue zone back there for Hima, so he can be the driver, be the wheelman. Salalzi way out ahead for Vietnam, getting a little bit of info there by that Death Road. Poland backed off. They went to the south. So,
ew! Oh my! That is
there's a lot of water.
An unsightly amount of water right there. It's going to be actually Argentina with the best position off that, and even Thailand in Lipovka. So this is working out so far for Thailand, but again, I just hope that they continue to play the game that got them in that third place spot in the beginning. I don't want to see them be too passive.
I've never seen an esports game end in Lipovka. Like, I've seen it to the hills to the west of it, but never inside
It's very rare. I'm trying to think if I ever played one or cast one, but nothing is coming to mind.
Yeah, I want that now. I've had Primors.
Yeah, we've had those.
Those happen.
We've been pretty much everywhere. Also, I don't ever think we've been up at Kameshki. I don't think we've had one end in.
I feel like I had one. It feels right in my gamer bones.
I'll trust you.
Yeah. But Thailand is actually the team that's going to be in Lipovka proper. Argentina out to the west. Germany as well out there. Prison going to be surrounded by Norway. USA now taking a mansion split. Vietnam just driving on in. Brazil is busy harassing Chinese Taipei.
And I like what Indonesia do. They're actually, it looks like they're setting up a trap on that south road. So any of these teams that want to come in from the south, specifically looking at teams like UK, looking at teams like maybe even Brazil or Chinese Taipei, they're going to be able to cut that off. And it's going to be Xiao Wu that gets a knock onto Luke, but Tig is there for the trade.
Looking to try to buy a little bit more time here in the blue, as the rest of Australia is very late to this. They're just getting here now. So Tig trying to hold on, trying to buy some time, seeing if they can maybe find a good angle. But Ming Ming trying to give him the opportunity. Doesn't matter. Tiggleton, man, he has been sharp these last couple games. Flood could just run Xiaowu over if he sees him.
So kennt man eigentlich Tiggleton.
I think Tig is just happy to get in some fights here, just get a little scrappy. They really haven't had the chance. Flood's gonna flush out Xiaowu. It's gonna be Poland now that's taking the fight to Vard in the UK. Michael on that ridgeline with Dragunov, but they're not gonna be able to save their teammate at this point. And yeah, Vard's gonna go down. Now it's just down to 2, Michael and T-Boat.
Well, this is annoying for the UK.
Very.
I was just thinking back to one of the games in the survival stage where Michael tried to go for a revive at Mill to Power. Oh, T-Bone, that was nasty. But Indonesia did the same thing where they camped right on the outside of Mill to Power and they killed him right after he put the res through. So I'm sure that was in the back of their heads. I think that's why they were being a little more cautious here. And then Poland just showed up out of nowhere.
Yeah, Poland didn't really care about what their plan was.
No.
Because now you can see China's just down to 1 and it's going to be Ike's left. Australia doing well for themselves to win that fight, so they're going to be cruising on by, but I imagine Ike's left is going to try to get his teammates up. He's going to try to go for those blue chips. You can tell he's being cautious as well. He's like, are they gone? Is it safe?
No, it's never safe.
That's a pretty safe rule of thumb to go by in PUBG. It's usually never safe.
No.
We can see now the circle is about to close. We're going to see what phase 3 looks like. And it's going to be CJ.
Gesnackt aus dem Auto.
Looks like they got one back on him.
Hier richtig gute Position in der Mitte auf dem Berg in den
Now
Häusern.
Australia's like, really? Really?
Of all the players, it was CJ, of course.
And he's just driving right by. He's just like, thanks, guys, I'm out. Ike's left still alive for China. He's actually, are they going to revive again?
He is, yeah.
They're going to do it again.
He's going to go for it.
Unbelievable. Well, I guess Lipovka actually is still in the circle, so whenever this comes through, actually, they might have some ability to get some stuff back.
They could also opt for Mansion. They could even go for J compound just above if they think it's clear, but Tan Vu is just going to get rid of the Philippines, and so their run will end. But it's been a wild and fun ride. They're going to go out in 13th place.
Still an absolute pleasure to have the Philippines at PNC for the first time. Truly just a real treat to watch them play. Some great players, some names out there that are going to be on the lips of PUBG players.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure to watch them. I'm so happy they made it to the finals. They made the Survivor stage an absolute blast. They made the start of this stage an absolute blast. And I'm glad they're going to be rewarded.
Dude, this is so annoying. Look, they're driving to try to distract for Delwyn. Look at this. This is so good. This is so good. Oh, Delwyn! That is ridiculous. Santastico's in trouble, and he's down.
It's not even fun anymore. They're just bullying the lobby.
I'm having fun.
I mean, it's fun for us, but
yeah.
not for them.
Not for the players.
Yeah, not for them. I mean, it's fun for Vietnam. No one else. As you can see now with a Lynx, dude, it's so lousy, bro. So unnecessary.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my goodness, and now Norway should be the ones in their sight lines. You can see now James trying to put a stop to them. This is all happening within the circle edge, so there's no real rush for Vietnam as Australia and the rest of his team now make landfall at the Wizard Tower.
They also called in a res at Australia, so Monty's on the way back. I'm going to assume that Ike's left got the res off there for China.
Yep.
Because he's driving back in. And now Vietnam, a little bit of time to think about things, but now you have Australia behind you. Well, if you could just knock, oh, Luke 12 just barely got there.
Yeah, by the skin of his teeth, he's able to prone just in time. It's going to be James once again taking shots over at Vietnam. It's got to be annoying because he's put a healthy amount of damage on them, but not able to actually get the knocks. And even if he did, he'll be able to recover. And meanwhile, Marsalek, clean spray onto Chinese Taipei. It's going to be Chawei that goes down. And now Leo and Savior are looking to posture themselves in order to receive this push from Poland.
Yeah, Leo trying to get in there. Let's see if Leo can have a nice little moment here, as this is the last game, in theory, he's playing a PUBG esports. So says he.
By his own
his own words. I'm not just making crap up. That's Leo said that.
He said, no matter what, after this, I'm going to retire. I hope, personally, he kind of thinks twice about it.
No, go to Leo. Leo. No, I don't care about Himas right now. They've won.
Please, Leo, please.
Oh, Savior.
Thank you. Leo's down. Knocked by a nade.
Okay, Savior, though, still a chance. They go for the prison here.
I mean, where else are they going to go to loot? And Ja will actually, no. Oh!
That's Norway.
Yeah, it's actually Norway that's going to get it now. Himas go, oh, come on! What a spray. Himas is going to find BL.
Dude, that is just so good. To be ready for the repeat like that and to, with a 3x, just nail it. Sparking, going to take Savior and Leo down. Chinese Taipei out. And Brazil falls right behind them. Vietnam on the warpath. They do not care. They know they've won. This is a victory lap. And they are going to ruin every other team's day if they can damn well help it.
Yeah, but looking at the leaderboard, you still have USA and Germany now within the earshot of Brazil. They've already gone out, and both those teams have 4. Both those teams are also in the circle. Actually, USA, they need to get into the circle.
Yeah, they've got a little work to do. Tough position, actually, because you do have some of that forest out there, but it doesn't get dense until you get past the road, so it's going to be a little tricky, especially with Denmark already in the trenches. And there's not a ton to work with, and Argentina's just surrounding them. Ake's left out there as well.
But Australia have done well to recover here, and they can actually do the whole lobby a favor if they can just get rid of Vietnam, not because they want to stop them from winning, but just stop them from killing everybody.
Monty, did he just have only the micro Uzi?
Yeah, he doesn't have much. He came back down.
You gotta just send it. Just send it, bro. Just go run at him. Like an extra in an action movie.
Well, yeah, but I don't know if he has that same type of, well, actually, they don't have plot armor either, so they're just extras, never mind.
He is, Die Hard, this is not for him. Okay, yeah, just be bait, be a distraction.
I mean, that's probably the best thing he can do at this point for his team, unless they can get some kills here onto Vietnam, in which case there's so many crates up there for him to loot. It's gonna have to be the hard way. Ake's left is gonna find a knock on to Gustav, and Gustav and his team are trying to, displace one of the other teams on the leaderboard.
That was so fast too.
It was.
Good God. All right, Norway. Fans still out around the prison, but it goes way to the north, so quite a bit is playable from like the southern hemisphere of this, right? Northern hemisphere is not as good.
It's kind of tight. There's really not much space. I mean, it looks like there's a lot of space, but there's not much to play within that space. Really, it's going to be Denmark with the only playable area just there.
But there's this like plateau that Norway can fall back to right around here that is super defendable.
Those ridges are incredible, especially in this circle. That's arguably the best position. Even though Germany has the compound, if they have to get out of it, it's much easier to work that ridge than it is to get out of that compound. So we'll see. Either way, Germany fighting currently to get into 4th place. Hell, if they get a win and Thailand doesn't do much, it's 3rd place. But Thailand actually still have 3 up. They are on the outside east edge of the circle. You can see Rossitted in a mortar currently. But they have, currently it's going to be Argentina to contend with. And Indonesia, when they actually decide to come in, they're going to wrap that way, I'm sure, as well.
Yeah, Indonesia tied with Denmark right now. They want to get into that top 8. Give themselves maybe a future look at an easier route into a grand finals of PNC if the format remains the same. Himas taking some damage there. Salalzi up ahead. He's going to try to spring into action. Again, this is like bait and switch from Vietnam. It's a lot of what they do is they drive. Oh my God, that grenade did a ton of damage. Didn't find any knocks. Here goes that mortar you were talking about.
Yeah, and he's aiming it in the direction of Argentina because that's the team they need to get rid of in order to get into the circle. These are landing close, but not close enough. It looks like Argentina is going to be just fine for now, but Indonesia now starting to make their move. They need to wrap into the circle, and now Thailand has recognized that, but just behind them is Vietnam, and they are all sandwiched right in front of Norway.
Norway needs to stand tall, but Salalzi has a lynx, could be a difference maker in this fight. You can hear it ringing out a bit. Himas is like, oh, shooting over here, that's cool. I'm ready for that. Kiss actually getting knocked by Teddy. Himas actually goes for the army crawl, might catch Simoy off guard, trying to obscure that sound.
Poland will now fall. Their tournament is over. They will be in 14th place. The crazy qualification for them to get here, but it looks like a fight is going to be a start with Simoy getting Hamas down. The fight is going to start with Hamas going down.
How was Seymour ready for that, dude?
I don't know.
I thought it was going to be a double. That's a nice blue zone, but Seymour able to dodge it. And that's going to back Indonesia off. Rez being thought about, but a lot of grenades exploding, so Vietnam has to rethink it. Hamas is gone. Very defendable. Need Salalzi to connect. Need him to really break things open.
I just love that Vietnam is not done yet. They're still fighting. They're still fighting for every inch. They're not getting complacent at all, regardless of the fact that they've already won this event. And they're still getting more kills. Hyman will fall now. Norway, the next target for the Titans of this lobby.
Okay, big battle out here. Argentina, Indonesia. They're gonna drive through, make sure that Delwyn is dealt with. Vietnam still has Tanvu and Salalzi alive. A whole bunch of people just died. Argentina, snap your fingers, and they're sent to the nether. Simoy still kicking. I think the only player left here for Indonesia. Tanvu able to get the heels off. Monty, there you go, Monty. Monty shows up with the micro. Let's go.
That's what we're talking about, and he might be able to get some loot there from the bodies. The Molly just barely not taking out Intense, so he's gonna heal up, but he's all alone. The rest of his team gone, and Ikesleft still managing to come into this on the western edge.
Ikesleft, he's a gamer, wants to go out with a bang if possible. Setsuna, no hope there, of course. Quickly dealt with. Tanvu and Salalzi just gonna take their time, looking to try to piece by piece do some damage, but Tanvu got spotted by Thailand, so he's stuck a bit outside of this new circle. USA, this fight needs to be good against Denmark. They would really like to get ahead of Germany. Germany's still 4 up, and they're not going anywhere, so this fight has to go well for the USA.
It absolutely does. You can see Kurt actually all the way on the eastern edge by himself. He sent the other two, Shrimzy and Kickstart, to deal with Denmark. If they get those two, that's another 2 kills on top of a placement point, which is so important. USA, as you said, tied with Germany, only 3 points behind Brazil, who is out, and that is 4th place, wide open.
Round of applause here for your tournament champions. And let the crowd get into it. Dolphy, still some frags. Whoa, Shrimzy backing off just in time. Felt the pressure coming, sensed it, has the folding shield to hide behind.
What? Wait a second, Shrimzy got that knock all the way from the north, which means that I don't think Germany is aware of Pretty Curdy's position at all. Kickstart is gonna find Ketter. The USA, all of a sudden, if Purdy does this correctly, if USA can actually get them to wrap back to the northeast, that is big trouble for Germany. And then that opens the door for Thailand to get involved.
Oh, things getting interesting. Shrimzy and Kickstart do what they need to.
Yep.
They're giving USA a chance. They are currently ahead of Germany, so now it's just outlast them and you're fine.
I don't think Germany knows that Purdy has snuck into that building. That is so dangerous for Germany.
Hard to tell for sure. They did reinforce it, but how well do they know? I don't know. Luke 12 goes down. It's actually Fluky who finds it from afar. Australia did get backstabbed by Ikesleft. Lost a player because of that, but they're holding on. They got 2 alive. They want to go out on a high note. Rez should be doable, I believe, for Australia as well. USA, though.
Oh, that circle.
Dude, what does Purdy do now? Does he just wait it out?
He waits and he backstabs. This is still good for USA, but he has to make sure that he doesn't make a mistake. He cannot go down.
Well, there's no doubt he's here now with these smokes up here, for sure. But what does Germany do? Oh, this is tough because you have Thailand out there too, man.
Exactly, and not only that, you have that 2-man, you have Thailand, those 3 members, but then you have Shrimzy taking an aggressive angle against Germany, and then I love that Kickstart is just making sure that no one can come off the ridge and punish Shrimzy for this play. This is so intelligent from the USA boys.
Let's see if they can hold on. Zareth has a Panzer. Purdy Curdy's favorite weapon right now. Look at the foldable shield, though. Oh my God, it still works.
But it just goes straight through. Okay, so Purdy will fall. Now Shrimzy might want to step back and go towards his team. And look at this. I actually love this. Thailand is going for the north wrap. They're going to try to flank Australia.
Ikesleft right underneath Australia. Not sure if he went into that little cave. That's my guess. Niggleton spraying down Thailand. Australia has to turn around, fight Thailand. 3-on-3 here. A little bit of damage done on the drive up. Rossiter Jr. has to take a moment to pause, but they have a lot of frags still left. Monty takes about half damage on that first one. The follow-ups from Jacob are good. That's a big one. Now you need the other two players to come through.
And meanwhile, the distance is going to be Shrimzy. He does find Germany. They used that window of opportunity to rotate, but they did not know he would be there. Shrimzy is still alive. Kickstart also trying to help, but Tiggleton of Australia just trying to get rid of Thailand. 2 members just above, and he's going to find one. Rossinen will fall. Jacob will fall. Only one left for Thailand.
Oh, what a hold from Luke 12 and Tiggleton. This is such a tough fight. Fluky worried about a stun, right? Yeah, it was right in his face. Oh, a grenade though from Aches left actually finds Kickstart. The USA all of a sudden in trouble as Fluky looks for those last 2 players. 12 kills in this game for Australia. Luke 12 sees the head of Fluky. He has a nice angle here though. He's gonna get the point. Can they do any more? Oh, he's lit up, he's down, he's out.
Oh man, and Tig helping his teammate from the USA and get rid of Thailand. They are only 7 points behind, but it's just a solo player. USA has to win this game if they want to surpass 3rd place, and they're not gonna do it. Ike's left is gonna put a stop to that.
I don't think there's enough points left now. I think they'd come up just one short if Shrimzy killed everybody else in the lobby. It'd be close. No, wait. There's still 3 teams, not 2.
You're right. Wait a second. No, you're right. I miscalculated.
Me too. There's a chance. Shrimzy.
Shrimzy's got to do it.
I believe. He's got to go against his teammate too. Think about that. He's got to go against Tiggleton.
He's got to go against Tig.
Maybe. Unless Aches left.
We'll see. We'll see what happens here. This is a battle for 3rd. This is huge, and at the very least, Australia have climbed out of last place, so they can claim that. But it's going to be Tig to take out Aches left. And so it's down on a 1v2. 2 teammates on one of the best teams in the world fighting each other now. Luke 12 is there as well.
Some of the best in the business here. Shrimzy gonna go down with a fight. Oh, he just domes Luke right away too. Nice opener for him, but Luke still has some heals. Not sure if he has a helmet anymore, doesn't look like it.
The other thing, again, I doubt Australia would, but they can't, if they deny, then the hopes for 3rd are dashed. And you can see the repair kit, which means Luke's gonna have a fresh armor. And I believe it might have even been a 3 vest. I'm not sure if it was a 2 or 3 vest. That's gonna be another helmet to repair, okay? Or maybe they're just stacking it on Luke.
He's gonna go look, I think maybe for another one back here, potentially?
Maybe.
Oh, the vest. He re-upped the vest.
Nice.
Oh, Tiggleton!
Shrimzy!
That is nasty.
Can he do it? Can he actually get them? Can he slip into 3rd place?
He's got a chance. He's got a chance out in the open though. Good timing there from Luke, but the tree, just enough. Frag out. Shrimzy's got to be so careful of that. Is it going to be good? Oh, he just dodged it enough.
And you have to think, yeah, Shrimzy's just going to keep pushing. He knows that the opportunity for the res is there, and he makes it under the ridge. He's going to get the heal off, but the res may come in time. I don't think Shrimzy, I don't know if he has any util. I don't know if he has any nades.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't. He has nothing but 6 bandages. That is it. He has to go absolutely giga, as the Australians say, in order to save his team in one more placement.
Oh, Luke, though, has a grenade. He's buying a little bit of time. Oh, what was that, Shrimzy?
The nade!
Oh, so close there. Australia ends it on a high note. Keeps the USA just a little bit further down on the leaderboard. An incredible finish there.
Wait.
What?
Wait, it says USA
No,
won.
I don't think that's right.
No, that can't be right.
I think we might have missed it just a little bit, but that's A-okay because there is a much bigger tale to tell here. There we go, Australia.
Okay. I was like, surely. I was about to panic. I was like, did my eyes deceive me? And as you're saying, even though Australia was the winner, man, the story was, of course, about Vietnam, the flawless champions here at PNC 2025 paper.
And there can no longer be any doubt. This is the best region in the world. It is going to be Team Vietnam as your 2025 PNC champions. domination the whole way through, never let off the gas pedal, led from day one, from game one until the very end.
And they left no chance for any of the other teams. We thought it was going to be a fight with China. We thought they were going to be able to push them. But Vietnam had different ideas, and they made damn sure that nobody had the opportunity to dethrone them. And as you said, 100% the best team currently and the best region in the world without question.
Disgusting. Unbelievable. Stellar. There is not enough adjectives in the thesaurus to define this team with how well they played. The fans came out in force and they were well rewarded. But let's go down to the stage. Bella has an interview with our championship team.
PUBG Nations Cup 2025 우승을 차지한 팀 베트남과 바로 인터뷰 만나보겠습니다. 다시 한번 우승을 축하드립니다. Hi guys, congratulations. You are the PNC 2025 champions. If you could join me up here, and our translator Daisy is here with the translating help. Thank you. All right. What a year. All right. Okay, well, Delwyn, we have the best PUBG players here in the lobby, and you take the best Nations Cup title. How does that make you feel? And also, who comes to your mind first? 일단 델위 선수 전 세계 최강자가 모인 PUBG 네이션스 컵에서 팀 베트남이 타이틀을 가져갔습니다. 우승 소감과 함께 지금 가장 떠오르는 사람이 있는지 한번 들어보고 싶어요.
Đội tuyển Việt Nam của mình đã giành danh hiệu là đội tuyển quốc gia xuất sắc nhất thế giới, thì không biết là bây giờ em đang cảm thấy như thế nào, và ngay tại khoảnh khắc này thì em có suy nghĩ đến ai không?
Tụi em giành được chức vô địch này thì tụi em rất là vui, vì ba tụi em đều là người mới, chỉ có Đạt là bắn 3 năm rồi, nên là tụi em rất vui vì lần đầu mà tụi em có thể teamwork tốt và chơi với nhau tốt như vậy. Em rất là vui ạ.
So I'm very happy right now that we got the champion for PNC 2025.